Hello everyone and welcome back to the Horsey and Fox podcast. It's a bit weird saying Horsey and Fox instead of Four Pillars, but it's fine, it's great. We're here today,
True.
me and Horsey. That's
Hello?
what I'm calling you
Hello?
now.
I'm not a furry,
I am.
but the artwork may. Well,
Yeah, mate, I
good
love
for you.
all that.
That's-
I mean, there was that clip
that's
of
totally
me on
fine.
the AC Valhalla stream where I'm like going like, why can't people just put on a fursuit or wear a tail and go out in public? Why can't they just do that?
true.
Which
true.
out of
Although-
context is like sounds like I'm a furry sympathiser, which I guess I
Although
am.
a sympathiser. Although it wasn't a Valhalla stream, we never streamed Valhalla.
No, it was me on my own on my main channel.
No. There's a clip of it on Unless you've said it twice.
I've said it twice. I have.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Because I was going to say there's a clip of it on Four Pillars Clips, and it's us on Horsey and
Oh,
Fox. 'Cause
yeah.
oh, wait. You were on your own because I was out the room. I come back in, like, at the end of the clip, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, there's that one.
think it
There's
was,
also another
Melody
one
Memory.
where I had on my own channel where I had like an in-depth discussion with chat about it.
Classic.
Anyway, welcome back everybody and listeners
Welcome
and
back.
everyone to the I was about to say Four Pillars podcast, the Horsey and Fox pod. It's great.
Yes,
Great
we are
time.
here again today. Update on the audio versions. They're up now, and they should be linked in the description, so you can go over to SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Fucking
and
wonderful.
you can listen to the podcast there if you want. So,
Brilliant.
and also an update on the other podcasts, because I realised that As Always got taken down because I changed because I've changed the link of the payment for the Patreon so the money doesn't go to our As Always account anymore. So the SoundCloud wasn't getting any money to it. So they just took down all of the podcasts. So I've now relinked it to my bank account. So I'm now paying for the As Always one just to keep it live.
Oh my
I might not do
God.
that forever. Because it's not that expensive. It's like 60 quid a year, but
Whoa. That'll build up.
yeah, true. Plus, it's only 60 quid for the first year that you change your payment method or whatever. I don't know. Then it doubles, so it's like 120 a year.
doubles?
But,
I mean, it's always
but-
free on. It's always going to be up on YouTube, right? People just need to.
yeah, exactly.
Fucking
So
fuck off.
at the end of the day, listen on YouTube, get YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah, do
I
that.
could never go back.
Yeah, it's so good to be fair.
which is nice. Plus, creators like myself and George here make more money when people with YouTube Premium watch our videos. It's way better, like higher
I did
CPM.
not know that.
So
That's
there's
really.
that. Yeah,
That's
it's-
kind of fucked actually.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like there's something like it's like the percentage of my revenue, pretty much 50% comes from YouTube Premium views, but in terms of like view percentage, YouTube Premium views are way lower.
Yeah.
So the views are like worth more, which is pretty cool.
That's cool, but also kind of fucked because most people are they're not gonna buy YouTube Premium. They're gonna either use normal YouTube or they're just gonna get ad block, and then it's even worse. So
Yeah, true.
that's fucked.
True, but I think a lot of people, when you present them with like a very convenient alternative, most people, if they can afford it, will just pay for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like
So
when
there's that.
Netflix came out, and it was so convenient to just pay for the service and have this big library of movies and TV shows instead of just like torrenting or pirating stuff. But now
Yeah.
that's changing because Netflix is making it difficult for people to use their service, so people are just going back to pirating again, which is great.
True. Did you see when they put out that thing about the like account sharing thing, like every 30 days you have to log back in or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they went back on it, and
Yeah.
but they didn't go back on it, and they weren't like, oh, sorry, this was a mistake. They were like, no, this was an error.
Yeah, it was like a
we didn't
system
mean
error.
to post this. Like, how? It's a very detailed error.
It's like someone
fucking
wrote
liar.
out a whole fucking thing and then you uploaded it and that was an error. It's like,
So that
come
was a
on.
mistake. We didn't mean to write that.
It would have been so much better press if they were like, okay, we saw your feedback and we've realised that this was a bad idea to do. We're going to rework, our way to approach this, and then we're going to, make it more consumer friendly. That would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, nah, didn't happen, boys. It was just an
It's
error,
a mistake. We didn't mean to
Gaslighting
do that.
everyone.
We literally never meant to do this.
Yeah. It's like you guys were all getting angry for no reason because we actually didn't want to do this anyway. So
we didn't want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's like starting a robbery and the police show up and you go, no. I didn't even want to rob this bank.
It was just
I'm so glad you showed up.
It's just
I
a
didn't
lapse
want to
in
do
my
this.
judgment. All right, it didn't mean it. Oh
Fucking
god,
stupid.
Fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, there's that. So, time for the obligatory update on your Horizon video.
Hey,
How's that coming along?
it's coming along pretty good. I've now edited nearly 40 minutes of the entire thing.
40 or 14?
40.
Oh, nice.
So that's the entirety of the intro, the entirety of the story synopsis, and then the entirety of the first quest, Reach for the Stars, right until Val and Aloy go back to Meridian. So that's where I'm at currely.
That is crazy, though, thinking about that, because that is a tiny part. I don't even know if that's 40 minutes of the game.
Well, I cut away, to be fair, to talk about, like, you know, the different systems that are set up at the beginning. So yeah, it probably is longer than the beginning part of the game if you're properly going through it. Like, it took me about, I think it was an hour and 15 minutes to get through that bit in my first playthrough, but I reckon if I were to play it now, it would be way shorter than that. Like, it'd probably be like half an hour at the very most or something. So yeah, it's a big old thing. But I think as the video gets further in, there's going to be less stuff for me to cut away and talk about. So it's just going to be straight story and level design and stuff. So it will get quicker as the process goes on. But shit is good so far. It's real good.
That's good. So are you like, with the structuring of it, are you doing it like in order of the things that you did in the game?
Basically. Well, there's 6 chapters in total, and I think it's like the first 2 chapters and the intro are like chronological, and then as soon as I'm let out, or is it? It's just okay. It's as soon as I get all the subordinate functions, and there's sort of like that lull in the story where you've got a chance to go out into the world and do loads of shit after, you know, the urgent task of getting the subordinate functions is out of the way. That's when I cut to talking about the side content, because I think that's like quite a good like midpoint in the game to cut away and talk about all that. The side content section, that's going to be long. I feel that's going to be like over an hour long in of itself.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing is going to be long.
Well, yeah, it's fucked.
It's crazy because, like, you've done 40 minutes. Like, for a normal video, that'd be, you know, halfway, maybe more than halfway done. You know?
And it's like not even 10% done.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like you're making like 10 videos in one or something.
It's fucked. I didn't realize how big it was going to be when I just knew that when I first started writing it that I wanted it to be this all-encompassing sort of video that is like a nice. It's like you can watch it all the way through and you can get the experience or a similar experience that you would get to play in the game, if that makes sense. Or it's like a playthrough of the game but with like
it's like a commentary, a well-structured, scripted commentary of the game.
It's basically a playthrough in a way, but it's instead of it being me going, oh, I'm gonna go over here and do this quest, I'm live commentating. It's like analysis and commentary of the game instead of commentary of what I'm doing or what I, you know, just like a standard Let's Play, if that makes. It's weird. It's gonna be great. All right, it's gonna be great.
It's a cool idea. I like that because it is like then like a, you know, people can watch it in bits and they can like just watch it over the like a period of time, and it's like you get this, you know, you kind of get this almost this Let's Play experience of like seeing someone have played the whole game, but the like actual information and content of the video that you're getting is like, you know, informative, analytical, insightful and stuff. That's, you know, that's
basically
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's trying to put to words and put into a script almost the thoughts that I was having as I was playing through the game. So it's quite trying to make it like an organic experience, which is it's coming together really well. Like the intro specifically, I always love editing the intros to videos because it's when you can first sort of see what the rest of it's going to be like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like there's, you know how in like, you know, my Brotherhood or Revelations videos, I'd have the bit at the beginning where it sort of shows cutscenes leading from the beginning of the game right until the end, and it's like sort of like got music in the background and stuff. I do that with this, but like it's it's synced to the drum beats in the music, so like it's like this really fast, snappy like presentation of the game, and like all the different segments of the story and stuff that are synced to the music, and then there's the title drop at the end when the music swells up, and it's so good. It's so
That's
good.
cool. That's always fun.
I think people are really going to enjoy it if
Nice.
they up to the task of watching a video that's that long. But
Yeah, I think
either
people
way.
are. I think people are up to it.
Yeah.
People, people like long form stuff these days. I feel more than
Well,
short
they
form
do.
stuff.
Yeah, like my fucking Demon Souls video is now on 47,000 views
Yeah, finally.
out of nowhere.
Just finally getting the views it deserves. That video was really, really good when it
Yeah.
came out, and still is.
I mean, I'm still really proud of it. Yeah.
That's it's always good when a video like that does blow up, even if it's a few years later. Like, obviously happened with my Subnautica one and
Oh yeah.
the Fable one as well.
Yeah.
It's always nice because you're not really expecting it. You kind of come to terms with the fact that it didn't perform super well. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh well, I'm glad I made it because it was a good video, and now
Yeah.
I'll move on to something else. But then all of a sudden, people start finding, and it's like, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy to me is like I was happy with about the 2,000 views or 2,000 or 3,000 views that it got. Like I was like, it's a video on an old Souls game. Like it's very long. I wasn't really expecting it to get a crazy amount of views. So I'd almost before the video was even out, I'd come to terms with the fact that it wasn't going to get many views whatsoever. So the fact that it's now on nearly 50,000, and there's so many people that have said in the comments that they've subscribed to my channel as a result of watching it, it's like a nice little bonus. It's like, that's great. It's like 2 years worth of that video being up has paid off eventually.
Yeah.
But it is demonetized, so I made no money from it, but that's alright.
Oh, that sucks.
That's fine.
That sucks.
It does kind of suck in retrospect, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's been demonetized for like 2 years. I expected it at this point.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to lose a lot of those subs when you put out a video on Horizon?
Possibly. I mean, I think I'll definitely lose subscribers when I upload this next video, 100%. It'll be people that haven't seen my channel upload anything in a while, and it's like, oh, new video from, Longin Fox, AC YouTuber I used to watch back in 2016, like, why am I still subscribed to this? And then they'll unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what happens, but
Yeah,
that's
true.
fine.
Because a lot of people, and it's not anyone's fault. I feel like I've done it before. You see a channel upload that you've not seen upload in ages, and rather than like click on the video to see what it is, you go, oh, I don't watch them anymore, and you unsubscribe.
You're like, I'm not
It's like,
interested
what?
in this.
Yeah, it's like, it just depends on the video they put out at the time. Because if someone's not uploaded in ages and they put out a video you're interested in, you'll probably click it and be like, oh, I missed this content.
Yeah.
But if it's a video you're not interested in, you're probably like, why am I subscribed to this person?
Yeah, it's like, this is
Like-
pointless. This is shit.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people seeing like a video that's hours and hours long, they probably will just think this is bullshit, I'm just unsubbing, which is fine. That's okay.
Yeah, it's not really a problem. Because at the end of the day, subs don't really matter.
No, they don't.
Like, subscription count, I've not looked at it for ages. I really don't even know what I'm on. Like 190k or something, I think.
Something like that.
But I just don't care. I haven't cared for a long time at this point. We always used to, back in the day, be like, oh, the sub goals. You used to have like that app on your phone that would track the exact sub count.
Yeah.
Just to see where you were at. Because it was fun. Like, it was a fun process doing that. But I feel like once you're this deep in to like doing YouTube, like the sub count means nothing because we've also changed content so many times.
Yeah, exactly.
That, like, it doesn't even mean anything anymore. Because who knows what those people are subscribed for? It could be completely different things.
Exactly. Like, there's probably like a few hundred subscribers that are still subscribed from like back when I used to do Minecraft videos in like 2013. So like,
they're just waiting for a new Foxcraft.
I mean, I still have
What
the
the
world.
fuck?
I still have it on my laptop.
Yeah, my old GamerVids playthrough world. The other day, well, when I say the other day, I was like probably like 6 months ago. I was trying to find it, and it was corrupt or something. Like I couldn't boot it on the current version of Minecraft. So I spent like a whole day. Like I got a backup of it, and I kept importing it back in, and then trying to boot it on different versions until it worked.
Oh god.
And eventually, I booted it on like the most recent version that would work, which converted the world. And then I loaded it on the most recent version of Minecraft, so now I actually have the world again.
Hey.
So I can use it, and I've got it there. It's still like not the most recent version of it because I'm pretty sure I lost it. So it's like episode like I don't know, like 120 rather than like 130 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty cool that it's there and I have it. And if I wanted to, I could continue with my Minecraft Let's Play.
It is really cool. Like old Minecraft worlds is definitely something that has it's almost like a liminal space. You know, it's just sitting there
yeah.
waiting, dormant. Like, it's just to think that Foxcraft is there on my old laptop, and like all of the last item that I put in a chest is still in the exact place that it is. The crafting table that I placed down in episode 1 is still there. The fucking end stronghold that I built is still there.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Built it and tried to act like it was real. I spent a whole day doing that.
I also built one, but I didn't act like it was real. I just built it in creative, and I built it in my house, and I was like, look, this is just what we're doing for episode 100.
Why did
now.
we do that? It's so easy to find an end stronghold. You just follow Ender Eyes.
I think because just we were young and we didn't get that it was that easy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, it seemed like this like crazy thing. Like, oh, I need to have Eyes of Ender. That requires fucking Ender pearls and blaze powder, which is like blaze powder, something that I never even engaged with when I was that age. Like making potions. Who the fuck cares about that shit? So it was like, and the fact that you could like lose your Ender Eyes and get lost and stuff, I was like, I just don't even want to fucking risk it. I'm just gonna build one in my base and pretend that it's real. Oh,
classic.
God.
It's it's interesting looking back on the Minecraft days, because
for sure.
I mean, Minecraft's so different now, and like you said, the worlds do feel like a liminal space. Like one day, you know, in the past, we just logged into like our main Minecraft world for the last time, and we didn't know it was the last time. And now it's been years and years and years since we played on that world that was so familiar, and did like tons of episodes on. You like your dogs or whatever, and everything's just still there, and it's like I have not logged on and played on it for ages. It's probably the last time I actually like did something on it to like contribute to the world was like back in 2014. It's been like 9 years.
It's fucking insane.
But it's still there. It's still there.
The data, the code is still there, and you can tap back into it whenever you want. I mean, I've always wanted to make like a big Minecraft video talking about the nostalgia and the way it transcends generations. And that's definitely a point that I would talk about, is that it's kind of beautiful in the sense that even if you log off of that world, it's still there, able to be salvaged at any point if you really wanted to. It's really cool. It's very cool. It's nice.
It's nice. One day maybe I'll get back to Minecraft and do a Minecraft video or something.
Do like a stream,
I'll stream it. Do like a stream, a little Minecraft Let's Play. I mean, a few years ago, I did actually. I think I did an episode of Minecraft. Actually, thinking about it, I think I did it on the main channel, and I took because I built the last thing that I built like ages and ages and ages ago was like a train, like a minecart tunnel going from like my house to like some other place like really far away. With the intention of like building like a new house there or like a fort or something. And I went there when I did a Minecraft episode like a few years back, and I remember being like, oh, if people like this, I'll start up like a new series which will be on the same world but in a different location. On like Lasers Extra or whatever. And people liked it, and I just never did it for some reason.
Maybe you could stream Minecraft at some point, when you've got less series going on and stuff. Maybe when you've caught up with Final Fantasy 14, if you ever wanted to hop on Minecraft, you can just do that, and then you can use the VODs to make funny little videos out of it. If that's something people want to watch, if you think that's like worthwhile doing, it could be cool.
Yeah, nice bit of nostalgic Minecraft. It could be good. Talking about nostalgia though, I had a I don't know what to call it. I don't know. I was on Time Hop the other day,
classic.
A couple of days ago. And I saw my little like tweets and pictures from I don't know, it must be, how long ago is it now? 6 years ago? 6 years ago? Wait.
2017?
7 years ago. 2016.
God damn.
At the beginning of the year. Of when we were having our bedrooms all like done. And so like we were in a bit of disarray. Yeah. But more importantly, it was the first time we were sort of like getting into Kingdom Hearts. Or at least it was the first time I played Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. I don't remember if we started at the same time or like.
I think I started a few months after you, or maybe a few weeks.
It was because we played it when we were trapped in the back room. Yeah. Right, we like played through all the way through to Halloween. I think
it was like after you'd completed Chain of Memories for the first time, and you were like, "All right, George, you're gonna be playing fucking KH1. I wanted to play Black Ops 3 Zombies, and you're like, nah,
Yeah.
playing KH1.
But I forced you into it, and changed your life forever, and it was worth it. Seeing the pictures though, it was very nostalgic, and I think it's something that will be like only Kingdom Hearts could capture for me. Is that because we were having, or the house was being done and everything, like I didn't have access to my desk or like anything, like I wasn't making content.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could do was sit on this fucking old PS3 on this like shitty little monitor in my bedroom that just had a mattress in it. Just sit down and play Kingdom Hearts.
Honestly, that's so nostalgic.
It's literally like the only like time I can think of in recent memory that like it was just like this escape from like the constant sort of the grind of YouTube. Like the only thing that's been separate from it. And I think I realized yesterday thinking about it, I'm like, I don't think I ever really want to make like a big video on Kingdom Hearts or like do any sort of like major content on it, because I kind of like that it's this separate thing, that Kingdom Hearts is the thing I do like that's completely disconnected from it. Like it's never work, it's always this separate thing, whether it's a stream or whether it's Horsey and Fox or just playing it on your own. Like if I were to make big retrospectives and have to write a huge script, I think I'd like it would start to feel like work, like every other game sort of does.
It'd almost take the magic out of the feeling of Kingdom Hearts, if that makes sense.
And it's like Kingdom Hearts is just like, as soon as I sit down and I play Kingdom Hearts, like it just feels like I'm transported away. Like nothing that I'm like, there's none of the like stress or anything matters anymore. Like I just get to sit down and play Kingdom Hearts, which is probably because the first times that I was playing it was like, it literally, that's what it was. Because I couldn't work. I didn't have my computer. All I had was sitting down playing Kingdom Hearts. So
it's a beautiful thing, man. I do associate Kingdom Hearts with that as well, to be fair, because I've never made content. I think the one video I've made on Kingdom Hearts was called I Love Kingdom Hearts, which was like a random like commentary I did in like late 2016 or something about me going, this game series is good, it's really good, I think it's great. But apart from that, I've not done any content, and I don't really have any plans on making any content on Kingdom Hearts, because it is sort of that sort of game we just play to chill out and have fun and enjoy the story, or stream it and have a great time doing that. Like it's not, I think it would take that magic out of it to make a video on it. Obviously other people can do that. It's great content out there in Kingdom Hearts, but I just don't want to do that. It's not for me. Same with like Final Fantasy as well. Like I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is quite a comfort game for me, even though I don't play it very much. But I can't see myself ever making content on it ever. That'd be fucking mental, to be fair, actually.
True. Horsey Fox, Long Live Fox, 10 years later retrospective. Well, it's already been 10 years, hasn't
13 years later, it came out in 2010.
For Final Fantasy 14.
Oh god, that'd be like 25 hours long.
That'd be a huge video. How would you even make that? You'd have to do expansion by expansion. There's absolutely no way you could make that whole video. That'd be insane.
I mean, even for fucking A Realm Reborn, that'd be such a ridiculously long video. And like, how would you determine which content goes into which expansion? Because like, there's certain updates that came out with expansions that changed the way the game worked and certain aspects of it. So would I talk about that during the Realm Reborn section because it's accessible during Realm Reborn, or would I talk about it during the update or the expansion that it was brought in? Like that'd be so confusing. That just sounds horrible. I don't know how you'd even tackle a Final Fantasy 14 video.
That does, because you'd also have to talk about 1.0 as well. You have to talk about like what happened in the 1.0 stuff.
Oh god, you'd have to talk about all the jobs and roles and all that, and like, oh god, that'd be horrible.
There'd be so much. You have to talk about like free companies and your little group you're a part of.
How to get a chocobo.
And like the different hometowns you can choose to start with that have different storylines.
Yeah.
Depending on which one you pick, and the job quests for each job.
The beast tribes, the fucking...
God, there'd be so much. The different raid series they've added in.
Gold saucer.
God, there'd be so much. That'd be a huge video. Someone should make that.
Someone should. I'd watch it. That'd be sick, but I'm not fucking making it.
That would be good. Yeah, no, that's not happening. But yeah, I mean, talking about all these different games, all these old things. Have you been playing anything recently other than
Space?
Dead Space?
That's it. I finished it last night. Got to chapter 12, and then I didn't play it for like a week because I'd either get home from the gym and be too tired to play, or like I'd get home from work and I'd be editing the Horizon video until like late at night. So I finally got the chance to sit down and finish the game on medium difficulty last night. And it's fucking great. Like the final chapter is just such a great culmination of all the, you know, resource management and weapon upgrading and story beats that you've done and seen throughout the game. It's just this like great like hurrah at the end that sort of, you know, really rounds off the experience. But I want to get the platinum trophy, so I'm going back through on New Game Plus, because there's a trophy that you have to complete the game using the starting weapon for the whole thing and no other weapon. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go back again. I'm going to stream the game on impossible difficulty, in which you only have one life. So that'll be fun. So I'm not done with it. I'm not even close to being done with Dead Space yet. But
that is going to be one life. Oh,
yeah, one life. And there's like environmental.
Imagine you get right to the end and you fucking die.
Yeah, like the final chapter, they throw so many enemies at you, and if you don't, you know, manage them well and you know manage your resources well, then you will get bloody fucked, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you have to go back to the beginning again, which would be so.
That would be so
depressing.
fucking rough.
I mean, there's also
you said you
like.
were gonna... What were we saying?
I was just going to say, there's also, like, environmental stuff that can kill you as well in the game. So, like, imagine, like, you get past this crazy bit with difficult enemies, and then you get killed by, like, some spinny thing, or, like, I don't know.
Oh, no, that would be so rough.
It would be awful. It would not be fun.
Oh, my God. Did you say you were going to stream Dead Space?
Yeah, the impossible
Put out a little tweet about it.
Yeah, I will. I will definitely stream that. I think that'll be really fun.
My God. Yeah, I feel like that's the only way you're going to keep your sanity.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, I'll probably be able to focus more on my own, but after playing the game twice, just on my own, it'd be nice to be able to play it a third time with chat. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have the stamina to finish it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dead Space is cool. Obviously, I streamed it a few days ago, or a week ago, whenever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was good. Didn't play loads of it. Probably like a couple hours.
You guys gonna stream any more of that? Because I was enjoying that.
Yeah,
stream.
I think so.
Great.
I think we're planning to do it this week at some point, like tomorrow or the day after. I'm not sure.
I'd happily watch them. It was such a good time.
Yeah, it was good to play. I always like a good Resident Evil or something like that. And Dead Space has got similar aspects of, So it was It was good to play. I enjoyed it. The lore is really cool, like the way you pick up these notes and go around. I think I prefer it to Resident Evil. I'm not sure what it is about it. It's just something about. I don't know. I think something about the gameplay and the way that like the gameplay builds atmosphere almost, like taking out the enemies and stuff, and like how to take them out, and it's kind of like this. Experimenting when there's a new enemy that shows up and you have to like sort of you know the tactic, but it's like how does that tactic apply to this enemy?
There's so many different enemy types. It's insane.
It's good. It's really cool, and I just think they've managed to like really do atmosphere well, and like just the gameplay loop, and like it never felt like there was one thing I've always said about horror games is I think it's difficult to make a horror game fun because you can make it scary quite easily, but as soon as that scare like wears off. For a lot of horror games, like the game just becomes boring.
Yeah.
Whereas, Dead Space they keep refreshing the horror bit, but even if there's like, even if you get kind of acclimatized, what you're doing is still quite fun. And then it doesn't last long, and they'll immediately like refresh it, throw something else in there that like freaks you out.
Yeah, it's so good. I think Dead Space.
So it's good.
The remake in particular, I've never got through the entirety of the first or the second one at all, but it's like there's sections of like very classic survival horror where it's like it's scary, and then there's sections that feel more like a third person shooter, if that makes sense. But it's like sometimes they mix the horror and the third person shootery aspect to the point where it's like you get to a new area and you're like, fucking hell, how am I going to make it through this area? Like, I'm going to have so many enemies to shoot, there's going to be so much resource management that I'm going to have to do, and the horror almost comes from not the fact that something could jump out at you, but the fact that you're going to have to make it through this really difficult area with all these enemies throwing themselves at you, and you're going to have to try and manage your resources or health or whatever to get through it in one piece. And it's almost like I'd get to a new area or a new chapter, and I'm like, fucking hell, here we go again into a new area. Like, Jesus, not out of like boredom, but like out of like how am I going to play this well, if that makes sense.
That's one of the cool things about like survival horrors as well, is that reassessment of the situation every time you get to a new area, because like you like with Resident Evil, I know like you get like you play an area and like at first it's super foreign to you. You're like, how do I tackle this? And eventually you come to know the map layout so well.
Yeah.
And like you've mastered it, and then you complete that final puzzle and you move on. And then it's like, right now we're gonna start from scratch again.
Yeah.
Master this new area. You know, where do I go? How do I do this? Where are all the items and stuff?
It's like as soon as you feel like you've got a hold on what you're doing, the game takes it away from you, and it's like, okay, you've got good at that bit. Here's another bit that's going to confuse the fuck out of you and make you feel vulnerable. And I think that's where great survival horror is, when it's, you know, you overcome such an obstacle, but the next area makes you feel as if you hadn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You've got the knowledge of the game's mechanics, but you don't have the knowledge of the next area you're going into. So it's like, oh, what's going to happen? That suspense is building up again. It's fucking brilliant. I need to play more horror games for sure. Like,
it's good.
Dead Space, or survival horror games in particular, because Dead Space has been really good. Like, I definitely want to play the RE4 remake when that comes out, because I think that'll be great.
That's pretty soon, right? Is it March that comes out?
Yeah, it's really soon.
There's a lot of good games coming out early this year.
Like what? I mean, I think is with these days with new releases, I don't know when games releasing until like release week.
I have like I'm a kid again. Here. I've written everything down that I was interested in.
Yeah.
So there's more games. So in January we got Persona 4 Golden, Forspoken, Dead Space remake, and also a game called Season: A Letter for the Future, which I thought looked cool, little indie game.
Yeah.
February we've got Theater Rhythm Final Line Bar, which is the Final Fantasy rhythm game, which is pretty cool.
Oh fucking in rhythm games.
Atomic Heart comes out on February 21st.
Oh, what's that again?
It's like that. It sort of looks like a BioShock meets like.
Oh, is that the one that's made by the developers of BioShock?
No, that's different game. I don't know when that's coming out.
That looks sick though.
Atomic Heart looks really, really cool. It's got like some cool boss fights and stuff. It's coming out on Game Pass.
Atomic Heart. God, I've literally seen nothing about this game. What the fuck? Just coming out of nowhere.
It really reminds me of BioShock.
Oh yeah, you've got like, is that a little ability with his hand that he's doing there?
Yeah, there's got like, you can shoot like lightning out of it and stuff. I guess you get different powers for it.
This does look pretty cool actually. I like the art design and the art style.
I'm not sure if it's an immersive sim or not, like a Prey or a old school like Deus Ex or something like.
Yeah.
Where you're sort of like, where you get like a million options of how to interact with your environment, and you just kind of like, do stuff, and you like pick up boxes and throw them around and shit. I
guess we'll see. This looks pretty cool.
But it does look really cool. Yeah, it looks great. They released some footage with like a boss fight, and it looks really cool. And the boss looks like that thing that Mr. Incredible fights. Yeah,
I've seen that gameplay. I saw that a few months ago actually. Yeah, it's like that big ball that's like running about. Yeah, or like rolling about. I've seen that. That looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. So that'll be fun. Then in March, there's Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which is, I think it's like a Souls-like game.
Let me Google this as well, because I think I know about this.
Which looks quite cool.
Fallen Dynasty.
Fallen Dynasty.
Yes, this game looks very cool.
Yeah, looks pretty cool.
Looks like Sekiro, basically.
Yeah, it's good. You know, got the samurai vibes. Or something. I don't know if it's Japanese or Chinese. I'm actually not sure of that. It's probably Chinese, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, possibly. I don't actually know.
I'm just white. I can't tell.
That's true. We're simple men. We don't know the difference, all right?
I'm accidentally, ignorantly racist.
Yes.
But at least I acknowledge that.
At least we think it looks cool, all right? You know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's being made by Team Ninja, which is a great studio.
Same people who made. Is it the same people who made what the fucking games called? Neo.
Yes. Yeah.
Those games got
Neo. Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I believe they also worked on Strangers of Paradise. Yeah, they did. Final Fantasy Origin, which wasn't a good game, but that's okay. They've made more games than they have bad games, so
that's true.
I trust them.
I trust them. They're the OG Ninja Gaiden guys. You know, you got to get it to them.
Yeah, they're good. They make some good stuff. So there is that, and then we've got also in March Jedi Survivor.
I still haven't played Fallen Order yet.
Fallen Order was good, but they need to improve. Like, it needs to be a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Maybe lean in a bit more to the Souls-like aspect of it.
Yeah. I
But,
know a lot of people liked it because, you know, saber customization and, you know, cool saber combat. Still no, is there dismemberment in Survivor, whatever the fuck it's called? Jedi Survivor. Is that what it's
not
called?
sure.
God damn.
I don't know because I can't even remember if there was dismemberment in the first one. I don't think it was.
I don't think there was. I think people made a big point about it being like, oh, it's meant to be this grounded Star Wars experience, but I can't fucking cut people's limbs off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you couldn't. So it'd be nice if they added that. It'd be pretty cool.
That would be very cool.
But yeah, I mean that's one I'm not like super excited for, but it's coming out, and I'll probably play it.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I'll probably play Fallen Order maybe like the week before it comes out or something like that, and then if I want to buy the second one, I'll go ahead and do it.
yeah, it's
I
worth
probably
playing.
will.
It was fun. It wasn't
Yeah.
like the most amazing deep game I've ever played or anything like in terms of its like mechanics, but it was fun. It's good.
How does it hold up to like the original like Force? What's it called? Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I mean it's totally different sort of game,
Is it okay?
which is
I
Force
guess
Unleashed.
the Force Unleashed is more of like a God of War, like original sort of God of War.
Yeah,
type
it is like a
game.
God of War clone.
Yeah.
Like one of those sorts of games. Whereas Jedi Survivor is or Jedi Fallen Order was much more of like a Souls-like type game, just a bit more forgiving with its like respawns and stuff.
A bit more like directly narrative based, sort of like an Uncharted in a way.
I mean,
And people were saying
kind
that when
of.
it came out. They were like, "This is like Star Wars but Uncharted, or Uncharted but Star Wars."
I mean, I guess in the way that like it has a story, I guess. Like I don't know. I mean, there's I guess you can climb things. Like I guess there's that element of it. Like sometimes to navigate
Amazing.
through an environment, you're climbing up a wall or you're swinging on a rope.
Yeah. I guess that's as far as it's like Uncharted.
Yeah, I'd say it's much more like a Tomb Raider 2013 to be honest.
Oh.
But good. But no, it's that sort of like you can backtrack through areas like when you go back to a planet, like you can backtrack and like when you unlock more things, like kind of like Metroidvania type style. And you go back and you go through different areas and stuff. It's good. I like Jedi Fallen Order, so hopefully Jedi Survivor is a good game.
Yeah. Let's hope so. I mean,
should be cool.
Cal looks like a cool little guy, and his little robot.
Yeah, should be good.
What
Then we got
else?
Resident Evil 4 remake as
yeah,
well
yeah, of course.
in March. April we got Burning Shores for Horizon.
Oh,
That'll be sick.
still annoyed that they spoiled the reveal of the Horus coming back online, but okay, we'll forgive them for
True.
that. It's really
They did do
fucking
that.
annoying that they did that.
True.
It's actually so like I got to the end of the trailer and I was like, that's so cool. And then 5 seconds later, I was like, but that would have been so much cooler if I was playing it and that happened.
Yeah, it would be. But hopefully there's a bit more going on there, and it's like, well, what's the context of it? How are we gonna fight? Are we actually gonna fight it or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think it'd be weird if we fight a Horus in a DLC.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they'd save it for the third game and have this like crazy set piece where like Aloy's like running along the tendrils and stuff, or like flying a sunwing around it or something like that. Just something cinematic. Maybe it'll be like one that's broken or something, and it's like it's not at its 100% capability. It's like a shitty one.
Yeah, that
or
could be the
something like
case.
that,
So
yeah.
maybe it's a bit more minor, and actually they're baiting us out.
Yeah.
And maybe actually in the third Horizon we'll properly fight one. Who knows? But,
Yeah. Who knows?
I mean that'll be a cool DLC.
Yeah, it'll be cool regardless, I think.
And then we've got in May we've got Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom's coming out.
Yeah. That'll be
obviously,
game of the year.
Yeah, probably. Probably. I can't imagine anything else will. Plus, there's not much coming out this year, really.
No.
I mean, there are a lot of things, but like probably like the only thing that's probably possibly like could win game of the year other than Zelda is maybe I don't know, maybe like a Spider-Man 2.
Oh, that's coming out this year as well, isn't it? What the fuck?
It is, yeah. Well, we don't know the exact date. Or like Armored Core 6 is coming out this year.
Oh, is
and
it?
Like,
Yeah.
if it's good, I mean, From Software normally, do well at award shows. So if it
They
is
do.
good, obviously it's not a Souls game, but
We'll see
that
what
could
it
be a
is. 'Cause I mean,
possibility.
Armored Core looks pretty cool. Like, I've watched some gameplay of the older ones, but I definitely think this one will be new. It'll be a way to get people into the franchise, so it'll be way more accessible, I think. Yeah, maybe it'll turn out to be banging, and people will just be like, From Software's done it again. They've got Game of the Year 2 years in a row. But again, I don't know what to expect from Armored Core, so I have no idea. No idea at all.
I guess we'll see, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad is May 26th. It's just like, I don't really care.
Piece of
but
shit.
it can't be much worse than Gotham Knights, so
oh,
you know.
Oh god. What happened to the Arkhamverse? What happened to it?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad in the sense that it is Kevin Conroy's last ever performance as Batman, so
yeah.
That'll be nice to see.
What a way to remember him in a live service Suicide Squad game.
Well, I don't think it's a live service. I think.
Have you not seen the fucking pictures of the UI where it's like matchmaking
and
like battle pass and everything?
I completely forgot that was a thing.
It's not a single player game. It's fucking multiplayer. The way they marketed it made me think it was going to be like this single player party based like game where you get to switch between the characters.
Like a Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Or like Final Fantasy in the sense that you've got a party and you can switch between the characters and use their abilities in specific circumstances, which would have been so much cooler than like, oh, you matchmake and now you play as 4 and now you go through game and you kill Justice League and you got Battle Pass.
Yeah, that's rough.
Good fun.
That's rough. Yeah, okay. That's disappointing. Then we've got June is the last game we know that's got an actual release date, which is Final Fantasy 16. Coming out June 22nd.
That could be a game of the year contender.
It could be if it's good, you know. Final Fantasy has a rocky history. So, you know, sometimes they release bangers, sometimes they release the most dog shit game. It's really a hit or miss, but I think 16 should be good. It's, you know, Yoshi P is directing it.
Oh, he's the man.
Like, great writer, great composers.
Cool concept. Back to the sort of traditional fantasy style of Final Fantasy.
Yeah. It looks great. It looks really good.
Phenomenal.
Everything we've seen of it looks really good.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is a big win for Final Fantasy, because they've not had like a true great Final Fantasy mainline release outside of 14 since, you know, probably Final Fantasy 10.
Fucking hell. I like 15, but it's not a great game, if that makes sense.
It's a super divisive game.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I could definitely see the merits in 15. At least I've not played it for years, but I definitely liked it the first time I played it through, and like I completely understand why people don't like it. Like I get it, especially after playing all of the Final Fantasies. It's like the combat just isn't there.
It's
like
trash.
It's not.
The combat is awful.
For a game that had such methodical and precise like combat in, you know, a lot of these old entries, like where you're getting to the end game and you've got all these different things to consider, you know, whether it was, you know, the stuff they were doing in like the original Final Fantasy 1 with your different like party members and their jobs, or whether you're looking at like Final Fantasy 7 or even 8, which, you know, 8's not a great game, but the combat is fun. So it's like weird looking at 15 and it's like, that's a really odd choice that you've just made it like hold circle to fight.
Sucks. It's
really odd.
The final like sort of chapter of the game, all of the ending bosses was basically a matter of me just spamming healing items until I beat them to death. There was no strategy or any like, there was nothing to it. Like the final fucking boss is where you fight Arden. Spoilers, by the way. It's fuck off.
Yeah, it's an old game.
That boss, when I got to it, I didn't have any fucking potions left, so I felt like I was stuck at a certain point. I couldn't do anything, but I managed to get through the entire fight without using any healing items because I didn't have any. But there's that one part in the fight where you both get like your king abilities or whatever, and you're like flying through the air and shit. And like, because I had no items to heal at that bit, I had to just hold the block button while he was just sitting there stationary in front of me, attacking me while my health was recharging. going for a few more hits and then do the same thing again. So like, all of the drama that was like meant to come from that fight, it was just dumb because it was just me sort of cheesing it. The final chapter of that game, it's great, but I kind of ruined it for myself, I think, by not getting all the healing items that I needed. But again, there should be a fucking mage in the team that can use fucking cure on people. Why is there no healer in the party in Final Fantasy 15? What is up with that?
Interesting that the party doesn't have like very specific jobs.
It's shit in that sense.
Because usually your party members, even if they've got preset, like, you don't choose their job, they still have a job, like, you know what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, like with Final Fantasy 7 and whatever. So
yeah,
it's I mean, interesting you talk about like the final boss and stuff, because when I played 15, you only fought Arden at the end. There wasn't like that boss gauntlet or whatever.
Yeah.
That I've seen because Elva played it.
Yeah, you go through the tower, or this tower in the center of Insomnia, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that wasn't in the original. You just fight Arden.
It's not the great. It's honestly, it's not the greatest. The bosses aren't that good anyway. So I mean, didn't miss out. They have really cool design. Like they look really cool. Mm-hmm. But the actual fights themselves, there was no strategy. It was just me fucking hitting them. Prompto would die, like he always does, and then I'd have to spam elixirs on him, and then he'd die again, and then Gladio would run in and die, and then Ignis would die, and it was just me. Like at the end of it was just me, and they all were on the ground, and I had no Phoenix Downs left because I'd used them all.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Bit of a slog.
That sucks. But yeah, I mean, there's that. So hopefully 16 slaps. Hopefully it's good.
I have confidence in 16. Looks very good.
But we'll see on that front. And then we've got a bunch of to be confirmed games. I'll just quickly run through them. So we've gone through them.
Yeah.
We've got Alan Wake 2, Armored Core 6, Blue Protocol. I thought looked pretty good.
I don't know what
Final
that is.
Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Ooh, that's
the Forza Motorsport reboot.
They're rebooting it, okay.
Yeah, they're releasing a new one, and it's just called Forza Motorsport, so that's cool.
Of course, they'll do that again in like 20 years.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. There's Lies of P, which is that Pinocchio Souls-like game. Isn't it? Yeah, I think it's like I don't
it's
think it's
literally
AAA.
the Dark Souls of Pinocchio.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks really cool. Spider-Man 2 is coming out.
Banger. Confirmed banger.
There's a game called Pragmata, which is coming out, that looks very Kojima, but it's not made by Kojima.
I think I've heard of that as well.
It looks quite cool. Stalker 2.
Oh, that looks great. Banging. That looks fucking
looks
sick.
really, really cool.
Although if you buy it, you have to fund Russia or whatever it is.
No, no, they're a Ukrainian studio.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'll fucking buy 5 copies.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not. They're the good guys.
Yeah, that's how. This is black and white in this world.
There's Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, new test drive game that looks cool, and Starfield as well.
Yeah, Bethesda's making another RPG.
Yeah, we'll see if that's good or not when it comes out. It's
probably gonna be
knows?
Big fat shit. Well, maybe not actually.
I mean, it could be good, it could not. It really depends. Who knows at this point? I mean, I watched I forget what the guy's name is who does like these big podcasts to get like loads and loads of views, and I've never heard of him before, and so I watched Todd Howard on it. He was a guest. Actually, I should probably find this so I can tell. Otherwise, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I want to listen to it."
It's Todd Howard.
Todd Howard. Lex Friedman.
Oh, Lex Friedman. Yeah, he's like an AI guy. He does like AI machine learning stuff, doesn't he?
Does he? I don't know. I've just seen his big podcast.
Yeah, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Ah, interesting. Well, he did an interview with Todd Howard, which is almost 3 hours, but it's so interesting because I think it's the only time in the past, like, I don't know, for a very long time, I think that people have been able to see Todd Howard as like a person and not just this like corporate like entity that like
corporate mouthpiece.
Yeah, but like actually listening to him and talking about his history with video games and like the coding side of it and how he's obviously still, you know, with all these new games with like Starfield and Elder Scrolls, he's not just like a director or like a guy that like sits in a chair and tells me what to do. Like he's getting involved and doing the coding and stuff and programming, and like
that's cool. Yeah,
he's very passionate about it. Like like even like you look at the stuff that have not done well, like, you know, Fallout 76 or whatever. And like he's just very passionate about it. He's like, you know, this is a game that we really wanted to make work and stuff. And like, you know, he talks about Elder Scrolls 6 and the history of Elder Scrolls and what they're trying to do with Starfield and stuff. And it got me quite excited for Starfield because I was like, oh, this really is like a passion project for this studio. Yeah. Like they really do want to make this game. And so it's like, I hope it's good. I do hope it's good.
So do I.
Bethesda need a win.
They do. Their track record hasn't been great. Like they made Skyrim. And that's like the only one they made that's any good. Fallout 3 is good as well. Like that's
the only one they made that's any good.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is definitely I mean, I guess because my reference point for Fallout is like New Vegas. So when I try and compare New Vegas to 3 or 4, it just shits on them in every aspect. So it's like,
Yeah.
they're alright.
Yeah. Have you seen H Bomber Guy's video on Fallout 3?
I'm actually watching it. Like I'm halfway through it at the minute.
Yeah. I found it and I watched it and I was like, holy shit.
He's right.
I've not played Fallout 3 for ages. It's just right. This isn't very good.
He's so right. The fucking design of that game is bizarre. It's bizarre.
It's really, really strange. But
it's like every aspect of it was done better in New Vegas by another company in 18 months or however long it took them to make New Vegas. It's fucking ridiculous.
Which is wild. Because the thing is as well, like, I don't feel that Skyrim suffers from the same problems as Fallout 3.
No, I don't think so.
Skyrim feels very well put together.
Definitely.
And obviously people love Morrowind and people love Oblivion.
They do. I like Oblivion, but I never played it very much.
I've only played about like 2 hours of Morrowind, and it was cool. But I realised I just don't have time to play it because it's just too big of a game.
It's a game that's like, it doesn't tell you what to do, does it? So it's like the way you get to the end in an organic playthrough that when you've never played it before is all down to you. And
exactly.
The way you explore the world, which I think is really cool. I'd love to give Morrowind a go.
It's very cool. It was cool because I played it when it was on Xbox backwards compatibility and it had like it's upscaled to 4K and stuff, so it looks great. And I gave it a go, and those first 2 hours, like this is a game I could see myself really liking because there is no quest log. You just have a journal. And in the journal, it like details like conversations you've had with people, and it's like, well, how do I get to this city? Like, well, I check my journal and see what someone told me about directions, and then I follow those directions and stuff.
That's so cool.
And it's like it does give you this sense of like you're on your own out on an adventure in this like uncharted land, which is quite cool. And I liked that about it.
Seems great. I'd definitely love to play it at some point.
So yeah, that was cool.
Starfield,
Starfield. Hopefully it's good. But those are all the games. Those are all the games coming out this year so far that we know of.
Yeah.
A lot of games, and that's exciting.
They're going to surprise drop the Horizon Zero Dawn remake. Middle of the
year. Probably. They probably will as well.
Happening? Is that just like a joke that everyone made up? Or
I don't know. I think it's real. I mean, there's a bunch of Horizon things coming out. Obviously, you got the VR game, Call of the Mountain. You got the Burning Shores DLC.
VR, the best way to experience VR.
Yeah, you got the supposed rumored remake for the first game series. And the TV series that's rumored as well.
Yeah.
On top of that as well, there's an MMO they're working on.
Oh no.
There's been leaked footage of the MMO, so we know that's real.
I've seen that. Yeah. And it's like all of the low detailed versions of the characters run exactly like Aloy because they haven't like made a specific animation for it.
Yeah.
Isn't like the art style meant to be a hell of a lot different? Like it's going to be like a cartoony sort of take on the world.
I would imagine it's probably a bit more stylized. I mean, Horizon is stylized-ish because it's not photorealistic.
No, it's not.
I feel like there's an element of like, I don't know what you would call it, like almost like hyper-realism, where like this captures real life, but it's like pushing it a bit further.
Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine in an MMO because you've got to accommodate for like people playing online and there being a lot of people at once or whatever. That.
I'm not actually interested in that, to be honest.
Well, I mean, the thing that I think could be cool, and this is what I said when I went on Random Side Quest. He's a Horizon YouTuber. I went on his podcast the other day.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about it. And I think what would be cool for a Horizon MMO would be to like have it be based around the Hunter's Lodge or something.
Yeah.
So like you are a member of the Hunter's Lodge, and so are all of your friends and stuff, and like so that's when you're in like a hub and stuff that everyone else that's there, they're all hunters too, and that makes sense having you all in like this hub area, which could just be like Meridian, could be like the first hub they have or something, then like you have your hunting stuff and you have like your raids and stuff, but like it could change and like your character could like uncover a greater story, because I feel like story needs to be prominent in a Horizon MMO. So it's you start out as a member of the Hunter's Lodge, you end up falling into the old world or something, and there's like this story you uncover, like just like some sort of like thing and like it sort of
When
plays
your character
into
falls into a cave
know.
and finds a focus, and then everything changes.
Yeah, I guess. Oh god, yeah, maybe.
I'm interested to see how they pull it. I mean, I trust Guerrilla because their track record so far with Horizon is so good that I do trust them, and I'm interested to see them more in this universe. And like, in an ideal world, if there's a great multiplayer Horizon game, it probably could be something that I'd play quite regularly.
Yeah,
but it all depends on what the content's like, what the premise is like, how it feels to play, what the different classes are like. You know, how they support the game post-release, because that's a big issue with multiplayer games at the minute. Is like, fair enough, you can release the game, but what's the support going to be like after that? Because a lot of fucking studios are just like, alright, that's our game release, let's fucking put about £5 worth of funding into it now.
yeah, it's
Halo
true.
Infinite.
And that's the thing, like with the games that end up doing well, like you look at Fallout 76, like I still have no interest in it, but they've turned it around and it does well now and people play it.
Yeah, they have. Fair enough.
Same with like, you know,
12
No
hours.
Man's Sky. Final Fantasy 14, you know, that flopped when it came out.
Now it's the biggest MMO on the planet.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's one of those things. If they support it well, then it could be really, really good, and something that people play a lot. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure.
But talking about games that come out this year, one game that came out this year very recently has been a controversial entry, a controversial video game.
I was wondering if it's going to come up.
I honestly have no joy in talking about. I do not care about this fucking game or the discourse surrounding it. I do not fucking care. But we have to, because we have to, and that is Hogwarts fucking Legacy.
I'm sick of hearing about it
Recently. I genuinely think it's one of the most overrated games of all time.
Yeah.
Like the vibes that I'm getting from it, people are very defensive of it, and I think it's because of how politically charged it is. The people that are like playing it and that are against the political aspect or whatever it is, you know, whatever. I feel like they're so defensive of this game because they're just like, no. If you think it's bad, that must mean you've got an agenda and like you think this thing and I don't think that political thing. So we've got to fight. And it's like they've latched onto this game, and it's like
Twitter's become like a fucking no man's land. If you talk about Hogwarts Legacy,
like
you can even talk about how that you think the game just looks bad, and people will just be like, they'll like send a whole fucking 2-paragraph tweet thread.
It's
in your
crazy.
Comments like, well, I actually think it looks really good. I think you should give it a chance before you actually talk about it, because I actually think you're just fucking trying to fucking say it's bad because you think that J.K. Rowling's a bad person actually, and that you don't actually think the game looks bad because it looks fucking great.
It's so fucking mental. Like, I put out a tweet on Friday night just saying that I think it's overrated, that like this game is getting so highly rated because of the political aspect of it. Like, if this and because it's Harry Potter. Like, if this same game came out and it wasn't part of the Harry Potter IP and it was just this new IP, I do not believe it would be this popular and people would be talking about it. Like, I just don't believe that. It looks so average.
Yeah,
it's painfully average.
It's like the fucking, as soon as I saw the inventory and how like you've got epic robes you can put on, and it's like there's an orange version of robes you can get. It's the legendary version, and look, you can get handles for your wand that are more powerful than the last one. Because that's
probably like arbitrary stats, like plus 10 poison damage or something.
It's
I don't
like
know.
you can do plus 3.5 critical damage with this. Look at how sick this is. It's fucking awful. Like, the game looks pretty. I'll give them that. It looks
it's
pretty.
Graphically nice. It's running on Unreal, right? I'm not sure.
I think so. I actually know. But like the clips I've seen of people flying around on their broom or like on a hippogriff, and you can see Hogwarts in the background and all the landscapes around it. It looks really cool. But like that's as far as the coolness goes for me. Like, you know, if I was a kid, it's probably the exact game that I wanted, you know, as a kid. But now that we've had so many of these open world light RPG games with stats and side question decisions and dungeons and bosses, it's like I'm sick of it. I don't
want it. I do not want it anymore. I can't do it. And it's crazy that people would like really defending this one, like people that, you know, would say that have the same criticisms about the new Assassin's Creeds or, you know, other, you know, these games that are, you know, for want of a better term, I guess, Witcher clones that are like trying to apply Witcher gameplay mechanics to their game with their stats and, you know, their levels and their quests. And
it's like the modern open world zeitgeist of video games where it's just this one concept.
I'm just sick of it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want to play it. Like I have no interest in playing this game. I just do not. But yeah, I mean, I put out a tweet on Friday, and I lost maybe like 80 followers, which is crazy.
Damn.
You guys are unfollowing me because I don't like the Harry Potter game. That's wild. I didn't lose any followers when I fucking said that I thought Ragnarok was underwhelming.
Honestly.
Which is a way better game.
It's because you're woke.
I genuinely think that's what it is. Like, people don't care what I'm saying about the game. They just think, oh my god, he's woke. And it's like, well, I guess I am, but like, whatever. It's crazy. And I guess part of it is, gaining an audience. When we gained our major audience, we were very right-wing in that period.
Yeah.
So maybe those people are still stuck around. And then when you say something that's not, like, you say something political and they realize that you've changed, they're like, oh, the fuck? This guy's just got his SJW now, and then they unfollow you or something.
But it's like, how weak can you be that someone that you used to watch and still enjoy the content of, they say something that doesn't confirm your own worldview, so you then unfollow them. I mean, obviously, you can exercise your freedom to unfollow me.
Yeah, like, it doesn't bother me, but
it is a little bit
funny.
dramatic. Yeah,
especially because I didn't even say anything political. I just said Hogwarts Legacy doesn't look very good.
I agree with everything you said on that tweet. Thread. I think it was the point that you made about if another game of this quality came out that wasn't Harry Potter, people would shit on it, and I think people would. I mean, Forspoken, it's a similar concept to Hogwarts Legacy. It's got gear, it's got side quests, it's got an open world, it's got magic-based combat, and everyone hated it. And now Hogwarts Legacy comes out, and it's a similar concept. And everyone's like, it's the fucking best game that's ever come out. I fucking love it.
Yeah, like, you got these, all the gameplay that I've seen, the enemies are, sponging damage, and, like, it's repetitive combat. You're rolling around, like...
Oh, it looks so bad.
There's, like, 2 enemies in the whole game.
It's like they saw Dark Souls, and they was like, oh, I fucking want to make Harry Potter Dark Souls. Dodge roll, we need that. We need a bit of that. We need locking on. We need fucking... Oh, God.
It's crazy, and I think the same thing has happened with this game as to what happened with, like, Ghost of Tsushima. And don't get me wrong, Ghost of Tsushima is a much better game than Hogwarts Legacy.
Better.
But I don't think it's the absolute, like, crazy masterpiece that people make it out to be just because they didn't like The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
It's like, The Last of Us Part 2, everyone was so mad at it, and they were like, oh, Ghost of Tsushima, that's how you make a game. It's fucking perfect. Greatest game of all time.
So there's so many issues with Ghost of Tsushima.
It's a good game. It's a fun game. It's even a great game at points. Like, but it's hardly, like, one of the greatest things ever made. No. Or even one of the greatest things that came out that year. Yeah. Like, it's... I
100% agree with you. Ghost of Tsushima is brilliant, but when 2020, when the whole discourse was going on about, like, all those games that was coming out and stuff, and everyone was saying Ghost of Tsushima GOTY, I was like, but it's not though, is it? It's not. It's a great game, and I had a great time with it. It's got beautiful environments. It's got amazing combat. Good stealth. The stealth isn't even that great, really, but like it's a great, solid game. But
good story.
The story's good, but the story isn't GOTY. Like, the story is not Game of the Year winning. No. Like, Jin is not the most interesting character ever. Like, I think the story could have been executed better. I mean, it's hard to sort of on the spot criticize the story, but there was something missing from it, I think.
I think what the story was is it was very safe and predictable and, like, and there's something comforting in that, and I think people like that. You play something that you're familiar with, you're like, this is quite an archetypal story of, like, someone that thinks their worldview is the only way, and then they learn that it's not, and they grow into a better person, and leave that life behind, and turns out real family was the people they found rather than, like, their blood relatives. And that's it's a good story, and I like those themes, and it was cool, but it wasn't a groundbreaking narrative or anything.
No, it didn't challenge any themes or go more complex with it. Like, there was never any suggestion during the story that, hang on, maybe the samurai way of life is the right one, and Jin is maybe making the wrong choice. Like, there was never any ambiguity there whatsoever. It was just, samurai bad, Ghost of Tsushima better, kill people stealth and poison them.
Yeah. Poison them.
I mean, there's that bit where it's like you poison all those people, and Shimmer's like, "You cunt, Jin! I can't believe you've done this."
Yeah.
And it's
that's
like, but that was
classic.
the fucking obvious thing to do. You were gonna send them across a bridge that they're gonna fucking blow up. You mad cunt! What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. I need to replay it. I feel like I need to replay it. It's not fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, I think, you know, the second game, a sequel, is the perfect place where you now need to, like, criticize and critique Jin.
Yeah.
Like, is what he's doing right? Like, can you go too far with being this ghost?
Yeah.
Like, does it become, like, does there become a point when actually honor, there is value in honor?
Yeah.
Like, are you doing things that are so bad that you need a fucking wake-up call or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that would be a cool storyline to go with.
Yeah, for sure. And it could be, you could have the whole thing about Jin and, like, his friends, sort of like he's doing these terrible, heinous things in the name of saving the people, but it's almost like in that process he almost loses who Jin Sakai is and almost solely becomes the ghost. And then you've got to backtrack on that and be like, okay, I've got to find sort of who Jin is, because during his time transitioning from a samurai to the ghost, and then from the ghost even further, Jin gets lost somewhere along the way, and you've got to sort of get back to that.
Yeah, it's like finding his equilibrium.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be really cool. I mean, that's the perfect middle entry for what could be a trilogy.
Oh, definitely.
That, like, you know, the first entry establishes everything. Second entry is this really, like, in-depth sort of character journey, and then in part 3 you do, like, this, you know, he's finally figured out who he is. You've got your set of friends, and you sort of, you know, take
like
the fight to whatever the big bad guy is.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But yeah,
in relation to Hogwarts Legacy, yeah, it's
it's a very similar thing that's happened where people get mad at a certain thing, so they latch on to, like, the opposite of it.
Yeah.
And it's like people are very much latching onto Hogwarts Legacy, maybe even subconsciously.
Yeah,
because they want to fight back against what they believe is, like, a bad political message or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, this doesn't mean it's anything wrong for people that are enjoying it, or even if there's anything wrong that people have bought it. I don't think that's a bad thing for people to have bought the game.
I think it's a difficult thing because I don't think I don't know how to word it. It's a difficult thing to explain. I think you're definitely not a bad person for buying a video game. Like, I think that's obvious. Like, you're not a bad person because you want to buy a video game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a certain privilege you have in being able to ignore the issues going on. That you can just go, I just want to play the video game, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's worth acknowledging that, because you are able to do that. Whereas for other people, like, they can't. And people might think that's crazy and silly because it's just a game, you know? But for some people, it's not just a game, and there is more to it. And I think, like, for me, you know, I know trans people, and there's trans people that watch my stuff and everything. Like, and I don't want to sit there and play Hogwarts Legacy, and for them to feel, you know, put down by that. Because at the end of the day, it is just a video game, and I can not play it.
Yeah, it's your own personal choice. Like,
that's good, and that's fine.
That.
And, you know, and I think that there is always a merit in boycotting things, and it's just a very difficult situation, because I think a lot of people are trying to paint it as black and white, in that, like, either you're good or you're bad, and I don't think that's the case.
There's a hell of a lot of nuance.
You know, and there's a difference between, you know, buying into a video game, which is very much just a luxury item, or buying into, you know, paying for things that are kind of necessities in this day and age.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very different sort of thing.
Well, it's like when Actman was it that Actman tweeted? He made like a really bad, like,
that was a really bad tweet.
Things.
Yeah.
What was the tweet again? It was
something about, like, people are wanting to boycott Hogwarts Legacy, but then they're sitting on their smartphones, and, you know,
that are also like produced through unethical means.
Yeah, and it's like that's crazy,
huge
dude.
Difference. Like, I love the Actman. I think he's a great content creator, and I've loved a lot of his reviews that he's done of games, and I agree with most of his opinions on stuff. But I think he's sort of missing the point in a way, in the sense that one is a luxury item that you buy for fun and enjoyment, and it's not needed. Whereas in today's society, you can't get by without buying a smartphone. And it just so happens that most of those smartphone companies produce their products through unethical means. But you can't just opt to go, yeah, I'm not buying a smartphone. I'm not buying a phone, because you need one in today's society.
Yeah, you can't do that. And it's like you know, boycotting isn't the only way. It's not the only thing you could do, but there are things you can boycott. And I like to, try to, contribute where I can. I think after the whole Ubisoft thing, it kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I'm like, I don't want to buy into this company anymore. Yeah. I don't want to buy into Harry Potter because I don't want to, Yeah. And the part of that is, I don't want my money to go to J.K. Rowling, who is then going to fund anti-trans groups, but also because there's a sense of solidarity there, and that's what a lot of boycotts are. It's like, I'm showing, the people that are trans in my community or that are around that, like, look, I'm with you, and you are more important than this game. Because
exactly, yeah.
That's, where my priorities lie. And I think, you're not a bad person if you want to buy it, but I also do believe that, a lot of these people probably have never met a trans person in their life. They aren't exposed to, these issues. And there is a privilege there in not being able to care. And, like, it's crazy to, talk about privilege, because I think people see that and they go, oh, that's so SJW woke nonsense.
Yeah.
But there is a privilege to it, like, to being able to, not have to worry about particular things, like whether that's because you're straight or because you're white or because you're not trans. And so I think that while you're not a bad person if you buy Hogwarts Legacy, obviously, at the same time, you are like, at the same time, you are doing a bad thing. Like, it's difficult to explain. Like,
yeah, it's like even if you're not directly choosing to do something negative, your contribution to that does have a knock-on negative effect in the grand scheme of things. But again, I also think that there's a lot of worse things out there that affect trans people on a much worse level than just someone buying a video game.
No, yeah, I do agree. There are obviously worse things, but I also think, like, because it's such a trivial thing, it makes it so easy to just contribute to.
Yeah, for sure.
People would rather play the game than that. And I think I saw this post that was talking about Chick-fil-A, like 15 years ago or something. Like, it was like Chick-fil-A were like donating a lot of their money or something to harm the gay community or whatever. And they, like, people called for a boycott. Yeah. And a lot of people just didn't boycott because they just really liked the food they did.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of like, yeah, like, it's not the biggest issue at all, but like the fact that people won't give up something that they like they won't inconvenience themselves even slightly to help a cause is a bit like, I don't know. It pisses me off a little bit. Because it's like, you won't inconvenience yourself just a little bit. Like, we're not trying to get rid of something major from your life. We're not saying you need to give up, your phone or your house or shoes or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's a video game. Just, But some people really, really just, I guess, don't care. And it's, I don't know, I guess it's just a little bit sad.
And I guess though, with the amount of different opinions and viewpoints on the world, I think it's, as bad as it sounds, I think it's okay for some people to not care about certain things. It's just like how, there's all the sexual assault and abuse in Activision. I still bought Modern Warfare 2. That doesn't mean that I don't necessarily care about the people that were involved in that. It just means that, I guess that's something that I didn't necessarily feel like boycotting at the time.
Yeah, no, like, I agree. I do agree. I guess what it depends on, because, and I think the thing is, right, like, people have to understand, like, if you, like, so you bought Modern Warfare 2, like, there are people that are going to feel very strongly about that, and they're probably just not going to like you for it. And that's, like, I think that's also reasonable.
Yeah,
people
I think
could be
that's
like,
fine.
You're a dick for doing that. Like, I think that's reasonable that people would think that.
Yeah, people can definitely think that. That's fine.
And I think, people feel similar about the Hogwarts Legacy thing. And I think people need to understand, like, yeah, you can buy it. And yeah, you're not a bad person if you want to buy it. But people are not going to like you for it. And that's well within their right. They're just not going to like you for it. And you can't fight back against that and be like, no, you're wrong. This is ridiculous. Like, no, they are allowed to feel that way, especially if they are trans and they see you buying into something that is going to support anti-trans organizations. At the end of the day, like, there is a knock-on effect there. Like, they're not going to feel good about that. And,
yeah,
it obviously from person to person can depend on how close you are to that. And I think a lot of people I don't think understand or are exposed to trans issues enough, like,
or even think about them at all.
No, exactly. And it's one of those things that hopefully over time it grows and more people are like, yeah, no, this is important, because, like, if everything was exactly the same as it was, but J.K. Rowling was racist, would people be more willing to boycott? Would people be more willing to be like, I don't want anything to do with Harry Potter because, J.K. Rowling funds like anti-black organizations or something?
Yeah.
Would that be different? Would people still want to? Would the sales numbers be the same? I don't know.
No, yeah, that's true. That is true.
I don't really know.
I feel like, maybe there would be more of a stance on it because it's more of like a thing that people are exposed to in everyday life.
I think to be honest, I don't think anyone would work with her. Like, I don't think the game would be made.
Yeah. If she was openly racist.
Exactly. I don't think anybody would be buying into the Harry Potter IP, and that's what's kind of crazy to me, is that because trans issues aren't as prominent and well known and well understood as like, the civil rights of people of color, there's this ignorance there where people can like be like, well, it's not the same thing, like this doesn't matter, almost. Yeah. And that's like what's quite interesting about it, because if J.K. Rowling was openly racist and that was her thing, like everything she was saying about trans people, just swap trans for black and swap women for white people.
Yeah.
And it's like people would be like, no one would work with it. Harry Potter things would not be made. But companies are willing to work with her because a lot of people will overlook trans issues. And I think that in of itself is probably an issue, which is probably why the boycott is a thing that I think has merit to it.
Yeah.
And
I think it's got merit to it. I mean, there's a reason why people are doing what they're doing, for sure. There's a reason why I'm not buying the game.
Yeah, partly because it looks like shit, to be honest.
But partly because I don't want it, but also because it is that little thing that I can do to show solidarity with people. But yeah, I do think that the people going into comment sections or streams intentionally spoiling it for other people is a little bit silly. They've already bought the product. They're just trying to enjoy it at this point, and there's people coming into their comment sections or their tweet threads or their chats and going, oh, this happens at the end, and it's like, well, now you're just annoying people. And then,
but I think that's
people...
sort of the point, though, right? Like,
yeah, but
any sort of civil rights movement is inconvenient. That's the point. If you're respectful, nothing changes.
Yeah, but I just don't think people are going to respond well to that, and they haven't. So I mean, I think that just proves my point. Like, I haven't seen anyone have Hogwarts Legacy spoiled for them. They go, actually, you know what? I'm gonna start listening to all these trans issues.
But I also think, like, you look at back in the 50s and 60s and stuff, and like, the civil rights movement from the black community, people were very inconvenienced and annoyed by it. Like, but if they hadn't done that, we could still be segregated. And it's like, I feel like, this is a minor thing in comparison to like what they were doing then. You got like, Rosa Parks, obviously, what she did on the bus, like that was inconvenient for white people. They didn't want it. They didn't want that. Like, why are you sitting with us? You're black. Like, that's not something you should be doing.
Of like a poignant moment, though. Like that
but that's more inconvenient than getting a video game spoiled. So I feel like getting a video game spoiled is so minor. It's like, I feel like for change to happen, people have to be inconvenienced, whether that's in minor or major ways.
I do agree with you.
Like, I do think spoiling a video game is really, at the end of the day, like, who cares? Like, it's a fucking video game. Like, if you're buying Hogwarts Legacy, the trans community is not going to be happy with you. They're going to want to inconvenience you because they want change. They want to cause some trouble so that people, like, something happens based on it. Maybe the younger generations will start to see it, because like, you're never going to change these older generations' minds, which is a lot of the same ways that it was back during the civil rights movement in the
gotta basically wait for him to die.
Yeah, and it's it's difficult to talk about because I'm sure people are going to be mad at me for even saying these things, because the thing is, like, it is inconvenient and people don't want to be inconvenienced.
No.
But it's the only way you see change is by doing that.
Well, yeah, they can't just ask nicely, like, oh, could you guys maybe accept us for who we are now? Because people probably won't listen to that.
Doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
No.
Especially when you got people like Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, like reeling in all these young people.
Yeah. And
poisoning their fucking minds. And it's just like, I don't know. It is a slippery slope, because I don't necessarily agree with the toxicity, but I do understand that to have people discuss what you want them to discuss, you almost have to annoy them first, if that makes sense. Yeah,
you have to inconvenient them. It's like the climate crisis people.
Yeah,
they'll
exactly.
glue themselves to roads, or they'll throw soup at a painting, and that'll annoy people, but that'll cause people to talk about why are they doing that.
Exactly. That's every civil rights movement in the history of ever, because it's the only way you get people to really think and talk about it.
Yeah,
In the moment, people are going to be annoyed when you stop their car from getting to work, but then, that's going to then make the news, and then people are going to talk about it, and in like 10 years time, people are going to talk about that moment when this thing happened, and
and
it snowballs and it
like,
creates change.
That was like an important part of the whole sort of cycle of activism. Like, I guess you don't really know that something's going to be a poignant moment as it's happening. Like when Rosa Parks was like, no, I'm not going to stand up and get off the bus or give up my seat for a white person. I'm sure as she was doing that, she wasn't necessarily thinking this was going to be remembered as a historic moment, but it was because of how much it annoyed people or upset people at the time.
Exactly, because
the reason why people are so annoyed about Hogwarts Legacy is because a video game is such a small and trivial thing. So it's like, if there's people coming in and ruining that for them, they're like, well, there's so much other things that you can be doing that are so much more impactful than just ruining my experience of a game, and that just pisses them off.
But I do think every little bit counts, and I think that getting a video game spoiled is the most like. If that's if that's the problems that you're dealing with, that's a thing that annoys you. That's not even an issue. That's the tiniest thing ever.
I suppose it is it is an issue to the people that are enjoying it and have spent that money on the game and now have their experience ruined and their money wasted in a sense.
Yeah, but good. Fuck them. We need to be fighting for the real issues. I just think that I don't know, this is important to me and people are gonna be mad at me for it, but it's I do care about this. I feel quite close to this issue. Obviously, I'm not trans myself, but I do know trans people. I've spoken to trans people. There are trans people that watch me that feel quite I've had DMs from people that just feel quite taken in by the way that I conduct myself and have changed in recent years, and I don't know, that means a lot to me, and I want these people, I don't want them to live the way that they live, and I'm for the tiny things that we can do, it's a fucking video game. This, it doesn't matter to me in the fucking slightest.
No.
What matters so much more is that we get people fucking talking, and if it is through these means, then it's through these means, and people need to be talking about this, people need to understand, the seriousness of, the way that, the way that these people are, have to live. It is... fucked. It's crazy.
It is,
and it's
for sure.
The same way that we saw for gay people. Obviously, gay people are still discriminated against, but it's better than it was 20-25 years ago.
Yeah, they're recognized as people can be homosexual, and the majority of decent people will be completely fine with that. Whereas I think if you find someone who's fine with homosexuality and talks to them about what do you think about trans people, they'll have a very different opinion on it. And most people will probably say, yeah, it's fucking weird, or that's fucking wrong, or unnatural, or I don't support it, or whatever. It's a crazy situation with Hogwarts Legacy. It is. I don't know what to think on a lot of stuff about it, because I understand the people that are just normal people that wanted to buy a game and enjoy it and are now having that experience ruined for them. But I also understand that the reverse side of it, where it's people that feel so desperate that at this point they're now their only hope is to boycott a video game to get someone to listen to them, because
J.K. Rowling has such a big reach. It's fucking insane.
Her,
she is,
Twitter especially,
her Twitter alone, but she's platformed, she is, she will make the news all the time, and it's
and she's a beloved writer in the UK.
Exactly, a beloved children's writer, that protects our children from the woke message of them becoming trans or whatever. That's a thing that can happen. Yeah. And it's just it's
definitely causing a lot of divide. You can probably hear Oscar and Hudson right now. But yeah, it's causing a lot of divide. And I think the damage that she has done towards the trans community definitely can't be ignored, because it's
it's huge.
She's very against it, because she simply cannot accept that some people want to live the way they want to live, and identifies. I think in this world we have very little control over who we are by like our own personal identity, and to have that taken away from you as well is like quite a shame that that's like a prevalent thing, that we can't just accept people for who they are and who they want to be.
Yeah, it's like people see it as an attack on them
Yeah.
by someone else existing, and it's just so strange. Like, and it's one of those things that I can almost understand their thought process, because I obviously thought that way at one point. Like,
yeah.
I did feel that way. Like, oh, they're
I mean,
trying to
we
change
were
our
both-
language.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to make me
They're
say
trying to
they,
change
them.
biology.
What the fuck? That's not real.
They're trying to go against science and biology. It's like, no, they're not. They want you to recognise, say if it's someone going male to female, they want you to recognise them as someone who is now a woman. You know, they're not biologically a female, but they are a woman.
And let's be real, the only time biology matters is when you go into the fucking doctors or the hospital. Like, I don't need to fucking know that.
Yeah, I
like,
don't
if
care.
you're a woman, you're a woman. Why does it matter to me what fucking chromosomes you have, or like, you know, what's going on with your fucking cells? Like, that doesn't fucking matter. It does not matter. It's never mattered before. It doesn't matter now. Like, it's not a thing that matters. Like, the way you present yourself is what matters to most people in society. The only time your biology matters is if you're talking to a doctor. In which case, they do need to know that thing. But we don't. That doesn't matter.
It's like the people that are like, well, you can try as hard as you want to go from being a man to a woman or a woman to a man, but in 1,000 years when archaeologists dig up your skeleton, it's going to tell a different story. It's like, why should anyone fucking care about what an archaeologist in 1,000 years is saying about your skeleton?
That's crazy. Well, like, so if someone dyes their hair, should I not, like, someone dyes their hair from brown to blonde, should I go, no, you still got brown hair, can't fucking change it. When they dig up your skeleton, you'll be fucking bald, won't you? So you don't even have hair, it's not real. Like, so fucking stupid. Like, people are so
just
dumb.
accept people for who they are. Stop being so combative against other people who just want to live their life. Like, but that's a whole bigger issue. That it's way bigger than just the Hogwarts Legacy situation. That part of it, but the Hogwarts Legacy situation is a small part of that entire discourse.
And I think there's a bunch of nuances to it, and I think there's a lot of people that are very quick to simply say that the people against Hogwarts Legacy are just wrong and like stuff, and there's just so much different discourse that I've seen, and it's just, I don't know, man, it's crazy. Like, it's just such a complicated thing to talk about, especially without any notes and without like any preparation.
Oh, for sure.
But people really want to paint it as black and white, and it's just like, it's just a weird thing to see. Just all the different people talking about it in different ways, and they seem very, very sure that like they're right. Like people are scrambling like for pretty much ways to justify why it's like actually like fine for them not to boycott it, and like more than they want to like talk about anything else. It feels like you look at like I'm wondering, like, a lot of people are saying like their excuses, well, J.K. Rowling wasn't directly involved and I want to support the devs, so like, I still want to play the game. But is that the reason? Because imagine if the devs were directly funding anti-trans organizations, do you think all these people that are still buying it, that are saying they're not buying it because JK is not involved, would then not buy it? I don't think so. I think they'd still buy it. So it's actually not that there's a lack of a good reason to boycott. It's that they would never boycott to begin with.
Well, they would just find new reasons to justify their purchase.
They'd find new reasons to justify it, because at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter what it is. They just don't care about trans people, is what it comes down to at the end of the day. Like, I genuinely, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe if the devs came out and said we are funding anti-trans organizations, maybe we'd see a huge drop in sales. Maybe we would, but I genuinely don't think it would drop by that much.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a little bit more nuanced that everyone that bought Hogwarts Legacy doesn't care about trans people, because I'm sure
not that they
trans people that
don't
bought
care.
it. I reckon you could probably find people who are trans that have bought it. Obviously, this is completely not even based on stats, but given how many sales that game has got, I'd be surprised if there wasn't at least one person in that statistic that isn't trans. I mean, that is
I'm
trans.
sure you could, but like that, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you definitely could, but there's also like, you see a lot of right wing, people, like, you look at like Milo Yiannopoulos, who
I forgot
is
about him.
gay. Well, was gay. He says he's like converted now because like he's been mentally,
fucking
you know,
gaslit.
fucked up. But
Yeah.
you know, he was right wing, and he used to say like being gay is unnatural and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he was gay,
Yeah.
and it's like that you're like there's something wrong with you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like you're not right. Like being like I it's difficult to say, but I do feel like it doesn't make it right. Like to be gay and then also be homophobic doesn't make those statements right, and to be trans and then buy into something that is funding transphobia doesn't then make it right. So that you're also wrong.
Yeah, I
like,
get what you mean. Yeah, it's like people it's like black people that uphold white nationalist values or stuff like that. Or people call them what's it Uncle Toms, is that it? It's like a term for black people that it's like you're basically you're black, but you're owned by the white man because you adhere to their values. So it's you may be black, but what you're doing is not good, and it's actively contributing towards racial divide and stuff like that.
Yeah, and obviously Hogwarts Legacy it's not the same. So like if you're trans and you're buying Hogwarts Legacy, obviously it's not the same as being just directly like hating of your own existence, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that most people that I think it's really difficult to say, because I think people like it's difficult for me to take a hard stance, because not because I don't believe it, but because people get really defensive and mad, and I don't like upsetting people is difficult, and I fucking hate it because I can't have this same conversation with hundreds of people at once. But I think that people that are buying Hogwarts Legacy, they don't actively not care, but you have to like you have to have zero attachment to the issues to do that, because I think if you
just don't care in this circumstance, it's like to them the trade-off of not buying Hogwarts Legacy is not worth them taking a stance against someone who is transphobic in that situation. Because I've got friends that have bought Hogwarts Legacy and they're definitely not transphobic. Like,
no, it's not. It's not direct transphobia, obviously, but I think there is that idea of like you'll support trans people, but not when they want you to not buy a game you're really excited for. And it's like, I feel like that's the time to prove yourself. Like, are you really supportive of trans people? Then don't buy the Wizard game. You know, like just don't buy it. You know, you'll be all right. But clearly,
but what if there's like someone who's bought Hogwarts Legacy, but they've also donated loads of money to trans organizations? Does that mean that they don't care about trans people? Or does it mean they just don't care about trans people in the context of buying a video game? I think it's very, very nuanced. But I don't want to take the stance of
a very difficult conversation, because that's a good point too. Like, you know, if you buy Hogwarts Legacy for $60, but then you donate $2,000 to a pro trans organization, is that fixing it? Is that fixing the problem?
You're contributing to it in some way by buying Hogwarts Legacy, but you're also helping in another way. It's crazy.
I mean, in my mind, like, I don't know, I guess in my mind I would just not buy Hogwarts Legacy and donate to a trans organization.
Yeah.
Do both things. Because I think part of it is solidarity. Part of it is showing that, look, I will give up this thing that maybe otherwise I would have liked to play to support this community that I think matters.
Yeah.
And part of it is also, you know, if lots of people did boycott, which like not lots of people have, so it's not going to have that effect. But, you know, if enough people did, then it would be, well, you show that Harry Potter's not a profitable IP. J.K. Rowling's not a profitable person to work with. She no longer gets work. Her platform grows smaller over time. And that's like, you know, a goal of it. Obviously, that's not going to happen. No. But that is a goal of it. But I think the main goal is just solidarity, to show to the, you know, the trans community and people that, you know, either look up to you or you're friends with, that, you know, I stand with you and I don't need to buy this game because, you know, I don't. Yeah. And I, you know, it's the same thing with the Ubisoft stuff, I guess. Like, I don't want to sit here criticizing Ubisoft and the fact that they've done all of this, you know, awful abuse of women and stuff, and then just go and buy a new game. Like, you know, I want to stand with the people that have been fucked over by Ubisoft, and I'm not going to pay for anything at this company anymore. Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's obviously nuanced, and, you know, I'm not trying to fucking attack anyone. I just feel quite strongly about the situation. I feel like I just really, I don't know. It just like it just bothers me.
About it. Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
And I think people have to understand that other people feel even stronger than I do about it. you know,
Yeah.
which is why people
Because
are being so aggressive.
They've lived the
Exactly.
experience of,
Exactly.
not
I've,
having
you know,
who they are accepted by others simply based on
Yeah.
the fact that I don't even know, really, to be honest.
yeah, I've just been exposed to it, you know, at a distance, you know, and
Yeah.
it bothers me, and I want to be a part of that, and I want to do what I can to help, because I think it's important for people like me to help, because, you know, it's sort of like, you know, who is the world controlled by? It is, you know, white straight men.
Yeah.
So it's like, if as many people that like are like me can help and get involved, then I feel like that's valuable.
Yeah, I mean,
So I
especially if you've got
guess-
a platform as well. It's like a big
Exactly,
sort of
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
like,
exactly. Like, I would
know.
like to use my platform for that. Like, I don't just want to sit here and review Hogwarts Legacy, you know, do a
No.
little review on it or whatever. I want to, you know, talk about those, use it as a jumping off point for talking about the, you know, issues that are real issues,
Yeah.
and that I just feel quite strongly about, and I just, you know, I just want to see greater equality, and I want trans people to feel, you know, welcome
Accepted.
and accepted, and, you know, I just, you know, hopefully, you know, in like 20 years or something, I mean, it'd be ideally sooner, but, you know, hopefully in 20 years, over time, we adapt and people understand being
I think we
trans the
will.
same way they understand being gay, or, you know, they understand just having a different skin color. Like, that was fucking
Yeah.
frowned upon, like, what, 50, 60 years ago.
I think as the years go on and the generations shift and change, and the ideas of what is acceptable in society and what isn't changes, I think people will look back in, like, I don't know, even a century's time to this discourse about trans people, and they'll be like, what was people so mad about? It's so normal now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it
Because
will.
it, you know, it is like, you look back at, you know, just look back 100 years ago, and you're like, you know, like the way that black people were treated, especially in America, is like, I can't believe that's real. Like, I can't believe,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
in the 1950s, people were segregated.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. Like, like, literally, you'd have different bathrooms, different, like, seats on a bus.
It's less than 100
like-
years ago, 70 years ago. that was
Absolutely insane that that's a real thing that happened
Businesses
in the
were
world that
allowed
we live
to
in.
say, we don't want black people in this establishment, and that was legal and okay to do 70
It's
years ago.
so
Probably
insane.
even more recently than that.
It's crazy, and it's, you know, it's just the society we currently have built is not, you know, is not built in a way which is and works to be accepting of trans people, and hopefully eventually we do get to that point where we can look back the same way we do on, you know, historic racism, and we're like, fuck, I can't believe that was the case. Obviously racism is still a thing, it's still, you know,
100%. It's
a huge
definitely
problem.
still a thing.
but so much better than it was,
Yeah.
you know, all that time ago.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Hopefully the same thing happens here.
I think it will. I think it will get to the point where people, again, trans people are just accepted, like, a lot more readily. But there'll be another issue that takes its place that people will be arguing about in like 100 years' time or something like that.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
always
sure.
something that people are debating, whether or not it's okay or not, and eventually it just becomes okay as
Yeah.
the years go by.
Yeah, true.
It's a shame that there's people living now that won't be able to experience a world where they are accepted as their identity. Like, that's tragic, but it is
Yeah.
the way society works over the years. I think it's like
Yeah.
it's a slow process to get people to accept something. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess to bookend it, sorry, fucking burping. There's, you're not a bad person if you want to buy Hogwarts Legacy, obviously.
Yeah.
I would just hope that whether you do or don't buy the game, that you at least maybe do some research, clue yourself in on trans issues, I guess.
Think
is
about
really,
it.
You know,
Just think
consider
about it.
that.
Like, you know,
yeah.
if you're someone who bought Hogwarts Legacy and before never even thought about trans issues or what people who are trans are going through, and now you've seen all this discourse, instead of being defensive because you bought the game and you feel like people are targeting you personally and saying you're a bad person, think about why people are saying these things and why they feel so strongly about it, because there may be some merit behind it. And I can tell you now there is merit behind it.
Yeah,
I
think
may
that's a
not
good point.
100% agree with with the methods people are using, but I think there's 100% merit behind why people are angry, and I think they should be angry. You know, people should be outraged at the fact that certain groups of people can't even live their own life normally in the way they want. Because the greater world is just not accepting of them. I think that's a great injustice.
I'm with you. That was a good point. That's a good way to end it off, I think. For sure. Fuck, this podcast's been going for a while. We still have to get through your recommended and the topics.
Ooh, I've only got three recommended videos today, so it's not too many.
I did have something to talk about, but I think we're going to skip over this topic.
Yeah.
And just maybe leave it for next time.
Week. Yeah, we can do that.
I was just talking about Naughty Dog, and they're saying they weren't going to do Uncharted anymore, and also the Uncharted 5 small little tease that was in a recent PlayStation thing. But we can talk about that another time.
Yeah, we can do that next week. That's cool. We'll write that down somewhere, and we can have that on next episode. Yeah,
but easy. We can do recommended topics now. I tell you what, I really need to pee. So
that's fine.
How about you? While I'm going to be really quick. Tee up the topic or the thing. Tee it up for everybody listening. The recommended, and I will be back in a minute.
Cool. Right, so yes, today on George's recommended, I have 3 videos. They're all animal related because that shit's just great. The first video we have on today's George recommended is dog interrupts skiing. Great, sounds great, sounds wholesome. Everyone loves dog videos. Homeless cat family reacts to food. It's the second video, and the third video is swearing parrot. I find it funny when parrots swear because they say it in like this really weird like voice. Like it's just so uncanny the way they can emulate human voices, but it's still like you can tell it's obviously not a human speaking. But yeah, plenty of animal related videos today in George's recommended. I thought we'd go for a more chill vibe. Like sometimes I try and do space or science or the world, planets and nukes and crazy shit, or like weird people getting into like altercations and stuff like that. But thought have a little bit chill with some animal videos because they're pretty wholesome, and it's like the vibe of just scrolling through your own YouTube recommending, you find a funny animal video that you're like, I like this piece of content, and you watch it and it's funny and wholesome and short, and it puts you in a better mood. It's a great time. It is a great time for the entire family.
Alright, fantastic. Okay, right, what are we doing? What are we looking at? Where are the links?
So, let me send them in actually, I completely forgot to do that. We have 3 videos today. All animal related, so it's a nice chill little vibe. I'll send them into the Discord now. The first video is dog interrupts skiing. Second video is homeless cat family reacts to cat food. And the third video is swearing parrot. So got some great content today.
Okay, this is great. I like this.
Let me open that first one.
Okay, dog interrupts alpine ski race.
Which I love it when dogs run into sporting events when they're not meant to be there. It's like that. Was there a dog running around on a football pitch once? I have like a memory of that.
I feel like that's a thing, yeah. I feel like it's happened.
Running about and it was loving it. Right, my computer can't handle Google Chrome, so it's taking a hot minute to load.
Classic.
Fucking hell, come on, mate. Jeez. It's because I got Sony Vegas open as well.
Classic. Why'd you have Sony Vegas open?
Because I'm afraid to close my Horizon project, because whenever I have to reload it again, it takes ages to load all the fucking files in the project. So
that makes sense.
God, my fucking computer right now. I'm getting an ad about some dude wearing this thing on his abs and it's vibrating and it's apparently making him grow abs. That's definitely not true, right? That's okay. I'm ready now. All right.
Okay, sweet. Count us in.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. This guy getting ready. And this doggy.
Dog.
I don't know what it's doing out there. What is he doing?
He looks like a Skyrim dog.
He is. He's like Barbus.
Yeah.
The one that talks to you because he's got the demonic prince or whatever inside of him. Oh no, he is the dog of...
He's the dog of the guy, yeah. Race interrupted.
Look at him.
Who the fuck's dog is that?
He's just bounding about. I feel kind of bad for it in a way.
He's so happy. He's having a good time in the snow.
How fast he is.
I mean, he's going downhill, so...
That's true, to be fair. He's fucking just absolutely throwing himself down there. And they're trying to catch him. He's like, hey.
He's having a great time.
He's so fast. He's doing
I
absolute
wonder if that's
bits.
someone's dog or whether he's just a stray.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell if he's got a collar on or not. Look at everyone smiling though. Dogs bring so much joy to everyone. Look at him, he's like, oh, you can't catch me, motherfucker.
There's no way anyone's catching him, especially on snow.
Exactly, it's just not happening. Oh,
Look at him sliding down.
He's skiing himself.
That's so funny. What the fuck is he doing?
Bless him. Someone give him a nice warm blanket. I didn't watch to the end of this video, so I don't know actually what happens. I don't know if
what
they
if
actually
it
get him
dies?
or not. Oh god. Hope not.
Gets hit by a fucking ski.
I fucking hope not, that'd be horrible. Look at him, he doesn't know what's going on. I saw everyone's smiling, like everybody.
Everyone's so happy about the dog.
Yeah. He's about
Where
to
is
make
he
it to the
even
end.
going?
Oh god, that's getting steep as hell.
Why is he still running?
I don't know. He must be scared or something.
He's gonna get tired eventually.
Yeah, for sure. He'll just slump down, be like, nah, I'm done. He's going back up now. That's the wrong way.
What is he doing? He's never gonna finish this race.
Honestly. Race interrupted. I love that fucking thing. What the hell? I've never experienced anything like this. What's he looking for?
How do you even get it?
I mean, that is true as well. Like, was he on a walk and his owner accidentally, he went straight too far, or is he just like a homeless dog and he's
Yeah,
just
maybe he
sort
just
of,
lives in the woods somewhere.
I don't know. He looks like a good boy. I want to see if they actually get him. If they manage to subdue him and give him a nice little treat.
I hope so.
Oh god, what's he doing drinking Red Bull when he's about to go skiing?
I needs the energy.
Oh god. Could you imagine that though?
Why would it be worse to drink it before skiing?
Well, just like how bloated it makes you feel when you drink like an energy drink.
Oh. I
Imagine
really
how
noticed.
horrible that'd be. Oh, I get that. I used to get that all the time when we'd stream on Horsey and Fox. Like, we'd drink fucking
Classic.
Emerge all day, and by the end I'd feel like death.
Yeah, we used to drink like 6.
That's true. It wasn't a healthy amount, to be honest. I'm glad I don't do that anymore.
It was a lot. It was a lot of energy drinks.
That's fucking ridiculous. Where's the dog gone?
He's just. Oh, is he come back?
What
No?
the dog doing? Dog has now found some hole in the netting, says the announcer. But obviously, I don't think people watching this could see that because it's in a different language.
Oh right, yeah, I've got subtitles on now.
Did they not find him? What happened?
I guess he's gone.
Oh,
Oh, he's gone. Maybe they caught him in
is
something.
this the bad ending? This is not the good ending.
Well,
Dog ran off. Well, there you go. That's a wholesome little video, but kind of inconclusive, to be honest. All right, well, I'm gonna stop watching that.
oh well. Cool.
Next one, little cat video. Meow.
Okay. Homeless cat family reacts to canned cat food.
We shall see. Oh, I've got an ad. Amazing.
Classic.
Oh, it's a 15-second unskippable one as well. For fuck's sake,
Wow. I
YouTube.
thought you had YouTube Premium.
It's on a different account, and I use my.
Oh.
Oh no, I am on the fucking account that has YouTube Premium, and it's still got an ad. What?
That's very strange.
That should
Maybe you
not be
didn't renew
happening.
it.
No, because we do it. I'm not even the one that the. Maybe this is just the wrong account. Okay, I'm ready now. Anyway.
Okay. Yep. I'm ready to go.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hello,
Play.
my friends. In this video, you will see how homeless mom cat
Sweet
and
little-
her child react
sweet
to
little
cannot
kitties.
cat food.
And they're like, what the hell? That cat is just so.
Like, what is this? Why is this happening? He's like,
Oh my
don't run
God.
me over. It's threatening.
It's like, if you like, you can have this lovely meal prepared at home. No, I'd smelling it, it knows. The way to look at that food is like, God damn, I want it. I want it so bad. Even the kitten's getting involved. Oh, look at that kitten.
He's coming down.
He's trying to make his way down, but he don't know how.
Oh my
God! Why
God.
did he move it forward again?
Stop doing that.
You can have some, bro. It's okay. It's just an RC car. The kitten is like, I want it. Give me it. She's pretending like she's not interested. Look at her. When really she is. You
That's
know
so
she is.
crazy. I feel like if you drove a plate of food up to a dog, they wouldn't even think twice.
They would. Yeah, they really wouldn't. They would not at all. They would immediately go for it. Whereas cats are intelligent. They don't trust stuff straight away. Hey, she's eating it.
Just look right into the camera.
Cats are so cute. Look at the kitty. It's so adorable. It's like, Mama, I don't trust
Didn't even
it.
pick any up.
Probably doesn't even know how to fucking feed itself. It's like, Mother, are you really gonna do this to me? It's so adorable. It's probably delicious as well. Probably like, fucking hell, I'm used to eating like rats and shit. This is great.
So happy with it.
I want to see the kitten have a go.
Yeah, it's just like, it's not even trying. Didn't even give it a lick.
Oh, it's going back in. Oh, come on, lad. Get stuck in. There's loads there. Cats are adorable. I can't believe
Its
I used
head
to hate
looks
cats.
so funny.
Which one? The adult or the baby?
The small one. It's
Oh,
got massive ears.
Kittens are so cute. Now it's going for its mum's tail. Amazing.
Classic. That's surely a lot of food.
That is. Maybe there's like other cats in the area and he'll drive it over to there as well.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe it's just these guys' lucky day and they just get a huge platter. All for them. I always find it funny how cats like lick the food before taking it. They'll like lick it to get a little taste.
Yeah, that's what Sora does.
He is just a cat, isn't he?
He really is.
Kitten's going for a bit. Come on. Come on.
Finally,
Do
let's go!
it.
Oh my god, on
Yeah,
the this is the most replayed bit of the on the play thing.
I guess everyone wanted to see the kitten go for a little bit. Oh, it's chewing
Thank
on
God.
it.
What a happy ending.
That is the good ending right there. It's not even really fully eating it though. Come on. Take the whole
Trying his
chunk.
best.
It's just left it.
It's
You
just
can't-
trying bits of all of them.
You can't do that. It's like when Sora got into the fucking mince pies.
Oh god, and then nearly died. Fucking
His
idiot.
fucking stomach pumped or whatever the fuck it was. Oh yeah, an injection that
Stupid.
made him throw up. Bless him.
Yeah, bloody idiot.
Well, there we go. That's
That was good. I
wholesome
liked
little
that.
cat video.
That was
It's
nice
cute.
and wholesome. Yeah. I vibed with
Swearing
that.
parrot is probably the best. I'd say it's fucking great.
Swearing parrot. Oh my god, how old is this video? 15 years old.
This is an old video.
2007.
You
Oh
can
my
tell by
god.
the fucking quality. Like it is.
Yeah, it
just
looks like an old
awful.
YouTube video.
It does. All right, you ready?
Okay. Yep, ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Ah bon.
I don't know why he's speaking French.
Est-ce que vous voudrez boire?
Maybe he's French.
It's a French parrot.
Twat.
He's got like an English accent as well.
Bollocks. Shut fuck up.
Oh god, that's good.
Such a great thing. I love that they can do this.
It's actually amazing the parrots do that.
Oh,
I like how the
dear, you're
cameraman is
shocking.
just crying.
Twat. Come on, you can say other things apart from swear words. Stop cursing and speaking French.
That's really good.
That's a great
Oh
video.
man,
I fucking love.
fuck off,
parrots.
you twat. Oh man, that's good.
Oh, good content.
Ah.
Yeah, that's all we've got for today. George recommended.
Wow, that was good. That was
Wholesome
good.
little animal content. I will
Some
try
nice,
and find
some nice wholesome cat stuff. That was fun. I liked that.
Yeah, man.
That was good.
For sure.
Patreon
topics.
Patreon topics. Here we go, ladies and also gentlemen. I posted this
time.
one a little bit late this time. Actually, I only did it last night. I meant to post it way earlier, but that's fine. We did get a few topics though. So we got one from Flash Paradox that just says, "I forgot to leave a topic last episode, lol." And then he didn't leave one. So
yeah, thanks, man.
that's tremendous. Thanks so much. Thanks Flash. Appreciate that topic. Thanks
so much.
Topic number 2, our actual first topic, is from the disciple Nick Zan, who says, "G'day James and George, hope you're both doing well. Seeing as George has given us George's Recommended, which provides us with all the things we think about searching for but never do, I'd like to introduce you guys to the YouTube channel Aperture. No, it's got nothing to do with Portal, but the guy makes insightful videos on different kinds of topics that most people wouldn't think about very often, if at all. He makes a couple 10-minute podcast-style videos a week, and I reckon, James, you'd enjoy it, but George, I think, would absolutely love it. Thanks, lads. Have a great week, Nick."
Aperture.
I have seen this guy. I've watched his stuff before.
Aperture.
He does like, let's have a look here. Yeah, he does like videos on like science.
I'm subscribed to the channel.
Oh, so am I.
Oh, yeah, I am already subscribed. I think I watched this video about how advanced civilizations can become in a galaxy, like in the different stages of civilization.
Yeah.
I think I saw that one, which was years ago. I haven't looked at this guy's channel in a long while.
Yeah, I haven't watched him in ages, but every time I click on one, it's like a very interesting like little concept that he talks about.
Yeah.
Which is quite
Yeah,
nice.
he's expanded his channel by a hell of a lot. Like, I subscribed fucking ages ago. Jesus. Fair play to this guy.
It's a good channel. He makes some good stuff. So, yeah.
Thanks for the
If anybody hasn't
recommendation.
listened to check that Aperture, check him out.
Yeah, check him out.
Check him out. All right, next up we got one from Arenathon, which, what's his name? Clem, was it? I think. Who says,
I was
"Hey,
from last week.
yeah. Who says, "Hey, not much of a topic this week, but more of a little update from the last one. So far, every single paleontology program I've looked into starts only in the fall, and the deadline to apply was early January beforehand. So that means any applications I do now will be to start school in fall of 2024, which sucks.
Okay.
But now I have 11 months to do applications. And Clem is just a nickname. It's not my real name. I'm a guy for confirmation. Clem's just a leftover remnant of my old username before this one.
I see. That makes sense, yeah.
Thanks for the update.
So, that does give you some time to sort of... I was expecting you to say, it's fucking in 2024, so I'm just not even going to do it. But it's good that you still want to apply.
You're still going to do it, yeah. That shows that it's something you do want to do.
Yeah, sure.
You really do want to do it, and you're committed to it, even if it is going to be, you've got 11 months now, like you said, to do applications. So
yeah, exactly.
you're in a good spot. Yeah, it's a good position to be in. So good luck to you. Good luck.
Sure. Good luck, Clem.
We've got one here from James and also Earl Jones, who obviously
guy.
last episode left a comment that I couldn't even read on the episode, which was great. But he's left a better one this time, hopefully, which says, "If you had to get a tattoo right now or be shot in the face, what would you get? Shit topic, but who cares, man? Go touch some Australian soil. Have a good one, lads, and also lads." I mean, if I had to get a tattoo or be shot in the face, I think...
Surely you could just get like a little dot that no one can even see. It just looks like a freckle.
Yeah,
Does that count?
you'd just get a tattoo, wouldn't you? You just would get a tattoo. Why
Well,
would you want to get shot in the face?
I think he wants to know what... I guess it's what tattoos we would get.
If you had to get a tattoo right now, be shot in the face, what would you... Oh, if you had to be... so he wasn't asking... Right, I see what he's saying. Right, I thought he was asking like a would you rather. Like, would you rather get a tattattoo or be shot in the face? That's not what he's saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if I had to get a tattoo, what tattoo would I get?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know?
Well, I've been thinking about the idea of getting a tattoo, and I really would like to get Ellie's tattoo from The Last of Us 2, like a full version of that on my right arm. I think it would look cool, but again, it's a big commitment, and like in the future, I may not even care about The Last of Us anymore. So it's like, it's kind of something that I don't know if I could be asked to get a tattoo or not. It'd be cool if it was something that I really wanted, but it's something I'm quite indifferent about, to be honest. I don't mind. Like, tattoos are real cool, but, you know, I don't want to get one, and then I'm like, it's covering my whole arm, and now I don't really want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tattoo. I don't really know. I don't really... Look, I'm probably never going to get a tattoo in my life.
Yeah.
But I guess if for a meme,
Get
the Desmond tattoo that he has on his right arm.
Yeah, I really wanted that when I was a kid. I wanted it so bad.
The classic Desmond tattoo is just like some like tribal symbol or something. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah. Oh, I'd get the Tatao from Far Cry 3.
So you can level up.
Yeah. The Tatao. Yeah, that's what
I'm looking at Desmond's tattoo now. Why does it look like that?
I don't know.
What is it?
It's meant to be. It's like there's no... It's just a random design choice.
There's like no reason for this tattoo. It doesn't mean anything.
It's just really weird.
It's just like it's got like an assassin symbol at the top of it.
Oh yeah, it does. That kind of makes it even dumber.
Yeah, because why would he have that?
Yeah, why would he get that? Because by the time he was old enough to get a tattoo, he didn't want anything to do with the assassins.
That's a really odd.
So that's dumb.
Oh, maybe that's not the real one. Oh no, it's not the real one. That's just some other one. No, the real one doesn't have that. Yeah, it's just.
Oh yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
I think it's an eagle. I think it's supposed to be an eagle.
Yeah,
but that's also
probably.
dumb.
But it also doesn't really look like an eagle.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's cool. Thanks, James, and also Earl Jones for that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. And our last topic we got here is from Zarek, who says, thanks for the advice on last episode. For new Patreon subscribers, what is the best episode of Kill Connor Clubhouse to start at, besides episode 1? Well...
The episode that I'm in. Am I in any? I don't know if I'm in any episode.
Yeah. You were on twice, right?
Yeah, over the years. I think there was...
We did one, it was just me and you, when Tyler was, like, in his depressive episode.
And then there was Bud House.
There was one, that you just did with Tyler while I was depressed too. So
it was a good time.
Yeah, I think best episode other than episode 1. Don't start with episode 1 because it's just an Assassin's Creed spoiler cast. I think start with episode 18 is a good one. It's the first advice topic we ever did. That's a good one. You could start with the very first episode of 2018, which was our like reboot for that year, where things sort of became proper. Like a proper clubhouse rather than just like the Kill Connor clubhouse, and the clubhouse were a bit different, I guess. You could go episode 40, I think is a really good one. The Ultimate Honey Dick.
I was gonna say that, yeah. The Ultimate Honey Dick. Great episode.
Trying to think of other ones. I mean, everything we did probably from like, I don't know, from when we came back after the like, sort of weird break we had to the end was really good.
Yeah. So
everything in that period was great. But there's some great stuff in 2019. 2019 was a really good year for Clubhouse. You can't really go wrong. I guess if I were to say like the very best of Clubhouse, like you don't really care about the origin story, you don't really care about the very first ones we did, like you just want to get to the best ones possible, start with the very first episode we did in 2019, because I think that's probably the best place to start at. Let me just check what episode number it is. Because there were definitely some good ones in 2018, and if you want to go back all the way and enjoy like everything, then start with the very first episode in 2018. But if you want to like skip some of the duds that might be in there, start with episode 53, because that's when we relaunched it from. Oh, it was still the Kill Connor Clubhouse then, actually, but that's a good one. Episode 53 is probably a good one to start with, but. There were some good ones in 2018 that you probably don't want to miss. So
there's plenty of great Clubhouse content. I mean, I've barely even dipped my foot into it, to be fair. But from what I did, it was a great time. It was a very chill vibe.
There is a lot. So I reckon either start with episode 53, or start with episode 27, or start with episode 18, probably. And then just work your way through and listen to them all. Because, you know, they're good. They're great. So,
and if you do want all the Clubhouse lore, start from episode 1.
Start with episode 1. I mean, better yet, go back to Kill Connor Club, episode 0. Yeah. And start from there. If you want all the lore, if you really want every little piece of lore about the As Always universe, then start with episode 0 of Kill Connor Club, and then work your way through, and then alternate between Kill Connor Club and Clubhouse, and then alternate between Kill Corner Club, Clubhouse, and Cinema Room. And then start listening to Four Pillars podcast when that gets introduced. It's a whole cinematic universe, really.
And then listen to the Horsey and Fox podcast. But to get the lore of the Horsey and Fox podcast, you need to watch all the Horsey and Fox streams.
True, you're gonna have to hack our account and go to the unlisted videos.
And go to the bad days.
Yeah, you gotta watch all of those.
You gotta watch us spouting rhetoric about Steven Crowder and fucking Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson and just being just insufferable people.
Yeah, just go watch our God of War, the original God of War 1 playthrough, where we have a whole conversation about how the regressive left is trying to destroy the world.
Jesus Christ.
Great content, I'm telling you. It's great content.
Fucking terrible.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's the last topic. That's the last thing. That's everything. That's the show. We've got it. We're done.
It's been a good time.
I will try and post the topics thread a bit earlier next time. I apologize for doing it last minute for anybody that wanted to leave a topic. I know you're paying to get your topics in, so I apologize for that. That was bad, but I will figure it on out.
Easy.
But yeah, that's it for the episode. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say?
Not really. I think I've said everything in my brain that needs to come out.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for another episode. Don't forget to rate us on podcast services. Drop us a like. Subscribe to the Horsey and Fox channel. And
watch our Final Fantasy VII OG series.
Yes. We will see you in 2 weeks for another episode of this, but we'll see you at the weekend on Saturday for another episode of Final Fantasy VII, where we're going to be getting into the meat of it. We're going to be leaving Midgar, and we're going to be getting into the juicy meat of the Final Fantasy VII story. The true game will begin.
Yes.
And it'll be great. So there's that. Look out for streams in the week. I'm sure I'll be streaming bits and bobs. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.